man, but it's like
Alright,
22 bucks a freaking bottle. It's expensive.
Yeah, I only buy spirits when they're on sale.
Yeah.
Let's,
Where are you?
oh, shit.
Where do you live?
London.
In London? Okay.
Yeah, well, on the outskirts.
On the outskirts? Okay. Yeah, I spent my last 5 years of my career at RAF Maldenhall.
Yeah.
Left there in 2000. Yeah, there by Cambridge. Yeah.
Yeah, nowhere near there.
Set ourselves to...
Now, we used to go, I can't remember what tube station we would go down to when we would go into London. It was like the farthest away tube station from London. I can't remember, it's been, I left there in 2005, so I haven't, my memory is fading. Yeah, we lived there for 5 years.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen. Tested.
Did a bunch of
Navigation,
trips over
transfer,
there,
and display
France
switches.
and Greece and
Normal
Spain
and auto. Window heat.
Germany.
On. Pressurization mode selector. Auto. Flight instruments. Heading set. Altitude set. Parking brake. Set fuel control switches. Cut off. Checklist complete.
Yeah, we liked it there. We were happy. We had a nice little house in the village between the two bases over there. And,
oh, you're here. Right.
It was a happy life.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys can afford to pay taxes though. I was lucky because I didn't even have to pay council taxes on my house because
2
I was
words.
in the military.
It's affordable in 2 words. Free healthcare.
Yeah. Yeah, but everything else is taxed ridiculously, man. 17% VAT on everything now. It's like crazy.
17.5.
Oh, 17.5 now. Holy crap.
No, it's been 17.5 for a few years.
Yeah.
It might go up because the taxes get announced sort of in the next few days, I think.
Yeah, it was 17 when we were there. The whole time we were there, it was 17.
Jesus, that's high for taxes. God.
Yeah, well, it's like, that's what you pay. I didn't have to pay council taxes, so I didn't have to pay property tax, but like when we changed our doors and windows out on our house, we had to pay 17% VAT on that.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it's expensive. And when we put our conservatory on the back of the house, I got the company to do a little bit of fly-by-night work where I didn't have to pay that on it. So, but it was still hugely expensive. It was still 27,000 pounds for our conservatory. So we put a really big, nice conservatory on the back of our house, and we loved it. I loved having that.
What is a conservatory?
It's
like a thing for music,
glass
isn't it?
you attach to the back of your house. No, it's a glass and perspex. Well, actually, I won't say it's perspex, but it's what you probably call a sunroom or something that you can put on the back of your house so you can sit outside.
Okay.
Ish.
Yeah.
When it's cold outside and stuff.
So it's kind of like a lanai or something, sort of.
Kind of like that. Yeah. It is a glass enclosure. We had a little stub wall that went up 2.5 feet that was bricked on the inside and out.
Why
and
don't I
then
just post a picture?
What's that?
Well, I just post a picture.
Yeah, I should post a picture. I'll have to go dig one up. I'll send you a picture of what it looked like.
I'm doing it.
Oh, you're doing it right now? Okay.
It's like
yeah.
a Florida room, but
yeah.
But it's glass like a greenhouse.
Yeah.
That's a new voice. Who's that?
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
I'm
Hi, new
his
voice.
friends. I'm not too good with aviation, but I'm like learning and stuff.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, don't worry, go away.
What's your name?
Misa.
Misa.
That's a
Please
very
meet you, Misa.
pretty name.
It's not my real name. My real name is Yvette, but they when I met Omni, that was my intern.
Before start checklist.
So
Flight deck door.
for years.
Closed and locked. Fuel 2, 5, 6, 3, 8 pounds. Check. Passenger signs. On. MCP. B2-160, heading 0, altitude 36000, takeoff speed. B1-153, VR
You're ready. I think everybody
154,
else is ready.
B2-155, set CDU pre-flight, completed, rudder
Okay,
and
hold
aileron
on.
trim.
Before we do
Free
this,
in 0,
take a
taxi
picture
and
of your
takeoff
drink because
briefing.
remember it's pints, it's
Completed.
pints and pints. So take a
Anti-collision
picture of your
lights.
drink and post it
On
on
that would
checklist
be a
complete.
problem. I drank half of mine, and my
empty.
pictures are pretty bad.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I can try.
No, that's all right. Let's just get going.
Cheers.
Okay.
Let's get the show on the road.
Beautiful.
Cheers.
Those who are so inclined can do so.
Yeah.
Push back, and I'm turning left.
I'm just gonna start up at the gate.
You feeling alright?
Starting engine 2.
Fine.
Well, since you guys are going to be faster than I will be, I'm going to go ahead and take off.
We're going to be faster than you?
Yeah. Fastest I can go in this jet is about a little over 400.
Okay.
Well, actually, Jesse, you going to fly this flight?
No, he's not.
He's skipping out on us this time around.
I was going to say, you could
Hurry!
go ahead
I'm
of
starting
me
up.
this time.
I'm starting up. There's no control.
Nope.
All right.
Nobody's here.
Connecting
Just
now.
us.
Engine 2 cut out. Starting engine 1.
Alright, they grabbed the cool one. I should show them.
That's.
Engine 1 cut out.
I hate this plane push past back from
All engines stable.
this version. I had trouble with it. I should just use the one in PMDG. It would be
I
easier
love the
to
PMG
use.
pushback. It's great.
Yeah.
Except the
never
guy
used it.
sounds like he has a cold when he's talking to ground.
Right, I mean, what aircraft are you in anyway?
I'm a 738 Mango
Oh,
livery.
Have you connected to the vatsim yet?
I see,
Yes.
CIJ. So
Yeah, I'm connected.
Connected now.
Taxiing.
Ah!
Oh,
CIJ.
take some
Oh, I forgot to
out
read.
there.
Let me import that real quick.
Northwest traffic, flight Richard 167, turning right crosswind, 03 left, Johannesburg.
Did anybody hear my Unicom calls?
I did.
I did.
I heard it.
I'm passing by somebody.
I'm just briefing my first officer. Yeah, what's up?
Johannesburg traffic, flight Virtual 1, taxi for runway 11.
You came through loud and clear there.
Yeah, I got it fixed. I just have to remember to do something. Every time I change controllers, I'm going to have to fix my push to talk button in vPilot. because it remembered that I had it hooked up to my joystick. That's what it was. The problem was.
Conservatory traffic, South Africa 54 taxiing to runway 3 left for takeoff.
Or did I say the wrong runway? Nobody caught that.
I don't actually remember. I don't actually know what you said. I think you said the right one. I think. I don't know.
I didn't. I was. Don't know where
I
my
said the
brain
wrong
went.
one.
No, you said 3 left.
Is that 3 left? That's 3. We went 3 right.
No,
Oh, we went 3
left.
right. We went 3
No,
left.
I'm
Okay.
going to 3 left.
Okay.
I'm going to 3 left, but I said runway 11.
Taxi checklist.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
On Proki. On
You make
anti-ice.
me
Set isolation valve. Auto engine start
It's a whole
switches.
nother level of
Continuous
taxiing.
recall. Check.
Mhm.
Auto brakes. RTO flight controls.
Our old
Full left.
CEO,
Full right.
COO, Zach.
Full back.
We called it
Full
Zaxy
forward.
because
Rudder
he
full
would
left.
just taxi wherever he wanted.
Rudder full
It was
right.
on the
Check.
grass,
Ground
right through
equipment.
buildings, whatever.
Clear. Checklist complete.
He's a tank. He's a tractor. He's a
Yeah.
tractor.
He would just go wherever.
He will mow the field.
Traffic. American 1040 repositioning to runway 3 left. Maybe.
All right, flaps.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps. Set stabilization trim.
All right,
Set.
I'm right behind
Checklist
you, waiting
complete.
on you to go.
All right, I'll be going in a minute. Traffic. American 1040 taking off. Runway 3 left.
Parking brake off. Thrust set.
Oh, that's not good.
We're moving. That's good.
Johannesburg traffic, fly virtual 1, position hold, runway 3
Meter line
left.
checked.
I forgot I was taking off a little heavy.
80 knots checked.
Come on, come on, come on. Come on.
Positive right gear up. Landing gear up. VNAV, LDAV, autopilot.
Traffic, American 1040 clear of runway 3 left.
Johannesburg traffic, fly virtual 1, departing runway 3 left on the oval 1 alpha.
Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, there we go. There we
That
go.
would be a
I think we're good. I think we're good.
No panicking.
Acceleration altitude.
You're right.
Flaps 2. Flaps 1.
Oh, wow, this is a high altitude runway.
Yeah, that's why we
Flaps up.
Untitled traffic, South African 54, landing on runway for takeoff.
After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds. On pass.
Of the cruise.
Auto. Landing gear. Up and off. Flaps.
Johannesburg
Stop.
traffic,
No lights. Checklist
FDN1
complete.
airborne, climbing through 6,000.
Traffic, American turn 40, 8,000 feet, 4, flight level 360. Okay, I was off by a bit, but okay, whatever. I did make it to 8,000 feet. I was off by a bit, but that works.
Yeah, you're good. Nobody's got a calibrated eye yet.
I do, so, yeah.
So how's the drunk pilot doing?
I don't know, Randy can answer
one?
that.
Which one?
She's actually doing better now than she did before. This is like her best flight so far.
Wow, so getting her buzzed is a benefit.
I think she's relaxed a lot more. That's what she was just too uptight yesterday, and she worried about every little thing. She just needed something to take the edge off.
Hey, is it morning over there somewhere? Because I hear a bunch of little birds.
Well,
Yeah, it's
here.
5:11 right
Passing
now.
10,000 feet.
I hear birds.
I think one of the other guys has a add-on runway that's cruising trip.
Yeah. What's your next waypoint there, Sarah?
I'm airborne.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Nancy, did you announce the com?
Oh, hold
I
on
see a lot
minute.
of TRK waypoints. Okay, hang on a minute.
Hold on, it's something that I have on my computer. Hold on, I was wondering where the birds were coming from.
Yeah, I don't think you're tracking on the right track right now.
Oh, for whatever reason, I'm not seeing any altitudes given. I'm seeing TRK, JSP 6.
Yeah, why don't you just go direct to Overlock?
Okay,
Because I think you're not tracking the right track here. Anyway.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you sure your LNAV is engaged?
Yeah?
You good?
None of my things have altitudes, and I put them in, or I put my cruise altitude in. I don't know what's going on here. I've had this happen before.
Yeah. I think you just go direct to Oval, and I think you'll be okay.
I'm trying to find it.
It's going to be like the third one down. Probably. Oscar, Victor, Alpha, Lima Alpha.
I have a route discount. Hold on a minute. Where are we?
Yeah, you need to get rid of that discontinuity. That should be near your landing. But up at the top, you should be heading to Oval, because I think you're off track. Verify that.
Yeah, she looks way north. You should almost be making a turn.
Yeah, you should be making a
pretty
right-hand
quick.
turn.
I'm not seeing Oval. What happened here?
All right,
I
what's your
associated
next?
it.
What's your next waypoint?
JSV 6.
I'm not sure that you put in the right.
You should have JSP 5 and then JSP 15. And then
Yeah, but
Oval.
she's not tracking on those for some reason.
Do the trick where you click your next waypoint and then execute.
Yeah.
Make sure you have LNAV and VNAV activated.
Hold on, I'm having trouble doing that. I'm getting invalid entry here.
Something's wrong.
Probably because you already phone past it.
Can you
Stream.
Oh yeah, I can.
stream your cockpit so we can see what's going on?
Yeah, sure. I can share. I'll share my screen. Just because, yeah, we have trouble. Hang on a minute. Oh yeah, something really doesn't look right. I know I associated that departure. I remember doing it. And unless it somehow got erased, which I hope it didn't.
Trying to read your tracks.
Yeah, the problem is the aircraft isn't set up correctly. That's why you're having problems.
Yeah, you need to. When you scroll down in your waypoints, are there any waypoints that don't have a track?
Randy, have a look at displays.
Yeah, a Tuxo?
Yeah, can we look at, can you pull up,
No, have a look at
Transition
displays
altitude.
now. They're not set up.
Checked.
Do what now?
let me see if I can see that better. Oh yeah, you don't have any displays.
I've had this happen before. I just don't remember how I fixed it last time.
And so right now you don't have any LNAV or VNAV on.
I heard something come on when I took off.
I don't see them lit up. They're not lit up. So they're.
No, the aircraft isn't set up properly.
Oh, let me
Yeah.
see.
The only way to fix it is to restart the flight and load up and start the aircraft properly.
Yeah, probably. It's going to be your only chance.
Do I need to reassociate something, or like, what do I need to do?
Let's see your FMC again. And scroll down a little bit. Hang on a second. Just go to LCAT. See if you can go to LCAT. Right there. See if you can go direct to that. Nope, it's not letting me do it. Something didn't initialize right because even your displays, your primary flight display is not displaying properly. Neither is your nav display. Neither one of them are correct.
Weird. Yeah, like I said, I've seen this before, but I have no idea how I fixed it.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell you to fix it either, to tell you the truth.
The only way to fix it is to restart the flight.
Yeah, probably. Because something didn't initialize.
Because I went through all the checklists like I normally do, and everything seemed correct.
Scroll up to the overhead, you see what the ILS is set to.
Do what?
I don't know if she can't see probably that. Let's see here.
I have I mean, it's mostly functional, but, I mean, I have most of the functions, sort of, but, yeah.
No, just go onto the screen of the aircraft, then press A twice on your keys.
Where did you need me to go? I can't.
Minimize the CDU.
Where's that?
Minimize the CDU, the big screen you've got up in that big white screen.
Yeah.
Go where?
Yeah, just the screen share doesn't actually show mouse position.
Yeah, I actually can't hear you. Your audio's like...
Yeah,
I can hear you, Randy, but yeah. Go where?
I'm not sure where to tell you to go, because right now I'm not even seeing a route. And you set up your landing already, right?
Yeah.
Have a look at ILS positions. Yeah, top left of the overhead.
Yeah, she can't see that.
But if you're talking about third, she doesn't need to see it, we need to see it.
Yeah, do you have a way to change the views in the cockpit?
I don't know how to do that, so...
Yeah, I don't think she's got the tools to do that.
Not yet.
Let me think.
It's based in the cockpit, you can change views by pressing A. Minimize the CPU.
Let me see. Let me try and work it through on mine.
Do you need me to reload the Rouge? In midair?
I don't think that's going to help the problem, because if you had your primary flight display up, that would probably, and you didn't have anything on your nav display, I would say that would help. But you don't have any indication on your primary flight display, which is telling me that something in your aircraft is not set right. It's not displaying the attitude.
Right, which, yeah.
So I'm trying to think of a way we can help you, but let me give me a minute. Let me get out of full screen Discord. As a minimum for right now, can you turn to heading 260?
Sure, yeah, hold on.
Heading select on.
That'll at least get you heading in the right direction, because you're just getting farther and farther away from where you need to be going. And let me work on this a second here.
Why isn't my thing turning?
Is your autopilot engaged?
It should be. I heard it come on. Hang on, let me see. It should be engaged. No, it's not. What happened? Did my... it seemed like my IRSs did align, because, I mean, I heard them, and it looked right when I checked the page.
Yeah, that might be where the problem is, and I'm not sure that you can... Is it possible for you to do an in-flight alignment on them?
Huh? Yeah, I can.
Try and do an in-flight alignment, but before you do that, try and get your autopilot engaged and see if you can get on a different heading.
All right, let me see. Nope.
Okay, go ahead. If you know how to do an in-flight alignment, do it. You have the tools.
I do. Is it going to be the same as when I'm on the ground?
It should be, but I think let me look at mine real quick. I think there's a different button you push for it. No, it doesn't matter. You should be able to align in flight too.
All right, let's
just try and do an alignment on it and see if it'll go. It'll bring you up. Because right now you have nothing. On your primary and nav displays.
I saw that. I'm like, what the hell?
No information on them. So that's telling the computer's not feeding information there. And the only thing I can think of that will be stopping that would be your IRS doing that. I've actually never tried to do an in-flight alignment on this aircraft.
I've never done that either. This is going to be fun.
Is that even possible?
Yes, it is possible. It's possible on every airplane that has internal navigation to do an in-flight alignment.
You're right. It wasn't. Now I have to wait like 30, 45 seconds. This is going to be fun.
Okay.
Well, I have enough fuel, so that's good.
Yeah. But you're a long way off track right now, and you're just getting farther away. So.
Well, there's kind of nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, not at the moment, but we'll just keep tabs on you and see if we can get you back where you need to be.
I'll give it a few more seconds. I'm glad I don't have like the real-time ILS or IRS stuff. Ugh.
Yeah, or it can take 15 minutes.
Yeah. I have enough fuel for 90 minutes of emergency, so I'll count this as an emergency.
Setting up the aircraft takes what that time.
Well, if you know your position, that's why they have the geographic coordinates at the gates at most airports, because they can verify the shutdown position, because the IRS will save the shutdown coordinates, and when you bring it up, if those coordinates match what the gate coordinates are, you don't have to do a full alignment on it. You can do a fast alignment.
I mean, I rebooted, but I wonder if something just kind of broke when I rebooted my system.
Could have happened.
All right, let's see. It's been about 30, 45 seconds, maybe. Should I give it a few more?
Yeah, give it a little bit longer. Are you still sharing your screen? Let me look.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's happened yet.
Because if that's the problem, once it's finished aligning, well, you'll actually have to put it back to nav.
Yeah,
once it's done aligning.
The thing is, we don't have any lights to determine when it's done. Unfortunately, not for us. I did
yeah.
Suggestion, but like, I don't know how you guys can tell, but yeah.
Let's give it just a few more seconds, and then we'll go ahead and put it back to nav.
I've never done an in-flight alignment before. This is like kind of scary.
And then, if it worked, and we've got it aligned, and that was the problem, then your screens will start displaying again, and your aircraft will know where it is.
I thought something looked wrong when you asked me at waypoint. I was there going like, wait, that...
Well, I was watching your track off the runway, and it wasn't following the track, and I knew you needed to be turning right.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, how about now? Should I try to set my switches to nav and see what happens?
Yep, go ahead. Let me know when you have it done.
Okay, it's done.
It didn't help. You're pretty much screwed at this point. You're not going to be able to finish the flight.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because there's.
She has got one chance. We might be able to fly back to the gate. If you see the gate FMC, put it in a ready to fly state.
Yeah, I didn't even get the message IRS aligned in my ear.
Hi guys.
Okay.
Yeah, but by the time she does that, she'll be so far behind us that she'll never catch up no matter what.
No, she can try it, but it might be to go back at gate.
Okay.
It will reload the aircraft back to
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
as it should be.
Just give that a try, Sarah. Let's just see, because it's a lost flight right now either way, no matter what.
I know.
But maybe we can salvage it. Can you reposition it? Just reposition it back to the gate and set the airplane up as ready to fly.
Don't need to do that. Just go to the first officer's FMC and go to EODG setup, panel state load, and then ready to fly.
Can you access that menu through your tools?
Can you interpret? I couldn't hear him.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what he's trying to do. Hang on, let me get to my airplane real quick, and I'll let you know. Okay.
Yeah, can you
Okay.
hear me? I can hear you.
All right. In your FMC on the airplane, you should be able to click a menu button, and when you click that menu button, it should give you an option called PMDG setup.
I have it.
Okay. Let me see which one it is.
EODG setup, panel state load.
Yeah, panel state load. Did you find that one?
Wait. I thought I did that. Wait a minute. Let's try that again.
Okay, PMDG setup, and then panel state load.
State load?
Yes,
Panel
state load.
To right, correct?
No, that should when you hit which key it is? Yeah, hang on. Let me back out and check to make sure. Yes, to right. All right, now that you're there, you're going to scroll down and you're going to find one. Let me find exactly what it says, because I have autosaves.
Everything's on default. Or ready to fly.
Hang on. Now what I've got here is there's one called NGXU short.
Oh, is it that one that's like NGXU long turnaround and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think if you do
NGXU short and long is how much fuel stuff.
Yeah, I think if you go with the NGXU short, you'll be okay because it'll give you enough fuel. Try and click that. Let's see what happens. And once you click it, it's probably going to want you to execute.
Did she break it?
Yep.
Not really. Well, we don't know what happened.
No, she broke it.
Or it broke.
See, this is the problem. When you're buzzed, you shouldn't be flying. That's how come they don't let blind people drive cars.
Unless they're drunk.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. NGXU short.
Yep. Select that one.
Oh God, where am I going to end up?
Just do it. Just go for it and let's see what happens.
Heading select off. Landing gear down.
And then hit execute.
I did. I just lost engines.
No,
did you?
that's fine. No, that's fine. It's restarting the aircraft.
Oh yeah, give it a second. It'll come. It should come back up.
Up.
I hope.
I'm
no,
dropping.
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh.
Just,
give it a second. It takes like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
For it to initialize.
Don't touch anything right now.
Oh God, guys!
You had her doing
this. No, don't worry. You're fine. Don't touch anything.
Guys.
Transition altitude.
Guys,
just stop streaming this.
You're fine.
You do, don't stop streaming it.
She's not looking fine. She's no, pull up. Terrain's pull up.
Do not tell her to pull up.
Watch your airspeed
passing
passing
10,000 feet. Pull up.
Oh yeah, I don't think
she can start off the aircraft.
Oh yeah, the engines just got started back up and they're spooling out.
This doesn't look good, guys.
You cannot touch the aircraft while it's starting up to mess it up.
Okay, but she was like flying into terrain. This is not looking good.
It doesn't matter.
Hang on.
She would have hit that mountain though.
It doesn't matter. When you do cold and dark, it starts up with nothing. So whatever happens, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're going back up pretty fast right now. So.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. It's not going to work because I'm noticing now your auto throttle arm.
Just she pulled up.
The auto throttle arm wasn't on.
I told her pull up to survive.
guys, stop stepping on each other.
Yeah, it wasn't going to work. The auto throttle arm is off, so right there that's telling us there's other issues going on that weren't complete.
No.
But don't let us watch you crash.
The cold and dark starts up from absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And then obviously when she pressed short, that's obviously starts up.
Minimum.
Oh! Whoa! Right. That didn't go too well.
No, that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal.
I wouldn't call that perfectly fine.
Her first crash on vatsim.
You made her crash.
No, actually that's my third.
I would have loved to see you doing that through controlled airspace. I would see you freaking out the controller right now, ma'am.
Oh, they won't freak out. You can go ahead and log off and close your sim, Sarah.
Oh dear.
You're not gonna get there.
Hey, Sarah, even if you're closing your sim, can you hang on for a little bit?
39 feet when it landed. That's not too bad though.
Yeah.
Oh,
she should log off that's in though for sure.
I just did.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I wish that would have been over controlled airspace. I would have made the controller freak the hell out.
Now they won't freak out. I tell you what, I was flying a Quality Wings 757 into LAX, and I was on the river approach. Everything was going perfect. I got down to about 8,000 feet. I was talking to the controller, and all of a sudden the airplane just started to roll over.
Oh,
and it just,
no.
I couldn't control it. It rolled upside down and nose down straight for the ground. And he just asked me, Fly Virtual 1, LA Center, are you having a problem? And I just said, Roger, I have a problem, Quality Wings, and I'll be logging off the network.
Oh, you did
and
an
he just laughed
landing.
and he said, understand, Quality Wings.
You did an inverted landing, dude.
No, I did an inverted. The airplane inverted and went nose down into the ground. It went straight down, and no matter what I did, I couldn't regain. It just did it all on its own. It was flying on autopilot and just went into the ground. Now they understand stuff like that happens. I mean, it's like as soon as I said Quality Wings, the guy knew. He's like, understand Quality Wings.
I could try to set up again.
Yeah, if you want, we're pretty far ahead of you.
I'm still on departure. I'm still like aligning actually.
Okay, so yeah, you might have somebody. Yeah, go ahead and see.
So you can fly with the Concorde.
I'll fly with you.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The Concorde's gonna leave you in the dust because it cannot do 250 at under 10,000 feet. It wants to go.
Wait, what? Actually, I do obey the speed limit. Thank you. We're not gonna break the speed limit below 10,000 feet.
Well, unless ATC approves you.
Yeah, we don't have one today, but if that happens, then yeah, sure. Afterburners.
Oh, nice.
I wish we could fly the freaking Concorde. That would be cool if the Concorde was made by Boeing and then
that'd be
PMD
nice.
made one of those.
Well, Boeing did try to do SST, but they failed.
Boeing didn't do anything.
No, Boeing tried to make the SST at the
Well,
same
it's
time that the
fine.
747 was being made,
But
but
dude,
it's too heavy
but
and
dude,
it's
come
costing
on.
too much.
Come on, wait up. They design a project, they brag on the whole world, we'll do Mach 3, we'll beat everyone. Then they just make a pipe dream and find out their design is too heavy and don't even build anything.
It was too heavy because they wanted to make it was too heavy because they wanted to make the wings fold. If they didn't make the wings fold, it would have been light enough.
Actually, the problem is more severe than that. It would be a lot more expensive than Concorde because they would have to use titanium. It's a lot of it's a lot of bragging. It's a lot of bragging with nothing behind it. That's what.
No, it's been a lot bigger than Concorde as well, so it would have carried more people.
Well, it never existed, so.
Well, yeah, the XB70, which was a prototype, which was a supersonic.
Oh no, that thing exists.
No, SST. Boeing SST.
That never existed. That never flew. That never was a thing.
I think it was just a concept. Yeah.
Yes,
I remember them talking about it. It just never.
It was supposed to be the next best thing for Boeing, and the 747 was going to be a side project that was going to be cancelled to put the resources into the SST.
The keyword "supposed to be" means.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video on it that says Boeing's forgotten failure.
Yeah, they didn't even do it. Actually, you know what they probably did? They probably bragged around about it, collected investor money, and then...
No, it was being built, but then when they found out it was going to be too heavy, they scrapped it because it's costing way too much. It's about 2 or 3.
If it ever was completed.
It's about 2 or 3 billion before it even got off the ground.
Wait, man. They knew it as soon as they designed it. As soon as the blueprints were created.
No.
How does that work?
You're getting it all wrong.
So they never made calculations on how much it will weigh before they build it? I don't believe that.
Yeah, they did all the calculations and stuff, but as they were putting the wing folding on, it was obviously getting bigger.
Okay, so they were so rushy that they started production.
No, you're getting it wrong again. Just do a bit of research while you're doing your flight and read up about it.
Yeah, I'm reading up about it right now.
Yeah, they didn't do it though.
No, again, you're getting it wrong.
It was actually constructed. It was in the hangar. I'm looking at it right here.
Yeah, they made one as
that's a mock-up. They call it a mock-up.
A mock-up. That's a typical thing with also Kickstarters that advertise a military plane and it's an empty mock-up.
No, instead of assuming, just look into the history of it. There's about £3 billion poured into it. The Boeing 747 project was going to be a side project only for cargo, but Boeing wanted to kill the 747 project to put the resources into the SST. But Joe, what's his name?
Joe
Finney. Wait, no, I'm not trying to. I'm going to carry on the way I'm going. And obviously, the 747 became the big success. And because the SST was costing so much, they scrapped it.
Yeah, I'm reading it right here. It says, but make no mistake, the major issue was the objection to supersonic travel. Going so fast created sonic booms that caused damage down below and prevented the aircraft's usefulness. In fact, thanks to some political issues, the Concorde was increasingly being banned in some areas of the world. With government funding cut, I'm reading it right off the line. With the government funding cut, this led Boeing to favor other projects such as the Boeing 747 instead. Ironically, a fun item of trivia is that it was reported that the design of the Boeing 747 was delayed due to the design of the Boeing 2707, as engineers were so committed to the future of supersonic transport that they didn't want to waste time working on a subspeed sound cargo aircraft. There you go. That's right off the stuff. So
yeah,
it was never built. It was designed but never built.
Yeah.
And then it was cut in favor of the 747.
When you design something, you calculate the weight of it. Even when I'm designing a shed, a metal frame for a shed, it's my job to calculate how much that frame will weigh and present that with blueprint. It's a plane, of course they know how much it will weigh, and they will be also using titanium is required for Mach 3 speeds, and that would make it a lot more expensive than Concorde. That's like a lot of bragging, nothing behind it.
I don't know that it's bragging. I think they were trying to actually accomplish something.
No, a Blackbird kind of justifies the use of titanium, the trouble of getting it from the USSR, well, today it would be Russians. Yeah, Blackbird justified it.
Hey, Sarah,
that was a whole different pot of money.
Hey, now what?
I sent you a message on Messenger. Just read it discreetly and send like a message answer to
Okay,
me, please.
I'll look at it later.
Well, it's kind of anyway. Okay, it's time
You need me to look at it now?
Well, yeah, since you're not flying anymore.
I'm actually setting up to try again, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's no rush.
Just okay. Just answer in text when you get it.
Now, Concorde was a failure anyway. It had so many design issues wrong with it. It was a design flaw.
It was uncomfortable.
It was a design flaw from the beginning.
Which one?
Concorde.
Well, what is flawed about it?
What is
Have you ever gone on it? Have you ever sat in it?
It eats gas like there's no tomorrow. It makes way too much noise.
That's not the flaw. That's the feature.
So, but Henri, have you ever sat?
Yeah, I'm saying that's not a flaw because
I'm asking you, yes or no. Have you ever sat in the Concorde?
No.
It is one of the most uncomfortable planes to sit in.
That's what I
heard.
The
seats are smaller than the economy seats. And now it had status because it was first class, but it had limitations because of the weight limitations. The people at the front of the aircraft don't get the best of the service. The ones at the back, they would barely get anything.
Yeah. Also, there was a lot of complaints.
Supersonic flight, and you'll
hold on. Yes, I understand all the technical marvels that it was that it pioneered. But it was uncomfortable, it was uneconomical, it was super expensive for people to fly on it. You couldn't take the full complement of your luggage, and plus you're in uncomfortable seats.
Yeah.
But
paid for one of the biggest complaints.
Cabin was so small as well.
But wait,
sorry?
Paid for it. People paid.
Yeah, they did.
They paid for the what do you call it?
The novelty.
For the novelty and for the prestige of having flown the supposedly luxurious aircraft. But the reality of it was. It was really uncomfortable, really cramped.
Wait up.
Well, you're not letting me finish.
But some it was fast travel.
Wait a minute, let Anson finish.
It was super fast, yes, but the reality of it was not comfortable. It was not as luxurious as it was made out to be. The luxury was only a brand. And the reality of it was uncomfortable, it was uneconomical, and it was unreliable. At most times.
How it was unreliable, actually.
Well,
it's reliability race. Let's go look at it on the web.
He's like basically built like a noodle, so it.
Wait. Actually, reliability-wise, I would argue against that. Actually, reliability-wise, it was pretty good.
Okay, so one plus against 5 minuses. So what are you gonna do?
A what?
1 plus against 5 minuses.
What do you mean 1 plus?
The 1 plus was that it was reliable. It got to where it needed to be. Fine. It flew fairly regularly. But again, it was a money loss. It was a money pit.
It's a money loss, but design-wise, it's actually for what they were going. It's actually is made pretty
Understood.
well. Pretty reliable. The
but
only
for what it was
spot,
used for, it was not.
Wait. You want to hear the actual weak spot design-wise? Okay, design-wise, actual weak spot is the tires, the landing gear, and mainly tires. Tire popping, especially due to debris on the runway. That's main concern. Still, it went through the upgrades of reinforced Kevlar tanks and steel wires. It's actually design-wise pretty good, but I agree, it's expensive. It's a luxury. It's a novelty. In fact,
it lost money for every one of the last 10 years that it was in operation.
Yeah, it was sucking the money right out of British Airways.
Keep in mind also it lived through economical crisis for aviation. Like it's been stopped flying in 2003. That's pretty much when 9/11 happened, and a lot of pilots lost their jobs, I hear, at that time.
It didn't suffer because of 9/11, that's for sure.
It
suffered because of that crash. The crash, it was already teetering on bankruptcy. And when the crash happened, the occupancy and the demand for it went down because people were afraid of it.
Actually, if you look into the history, it was flying way past the crash. It went through upgrades. They invested in all of the upgrades.
And again,
rewired
in spite of all of that.
And
in spite of all of that.
Well, let me finish. They plan to fly it further ahead, even making a concept of the next Concorde, which would have slats. So that would be a whole new model.
More confidence was taken.
My best saying is the best laid plans will never get you laid the way you planned.
Yeah.
So you can plan,
BA decided to fly after the crash, but Airbus went, no, we're not going to make any parts. That's why it was grounded.
There you go. It was a financial loss, and plus the capacity.
It was ungrounded after the crash and after the upgrades were done. Actually,
it flew after the crash. I'm not doubting you that, but it didn't fly after full capacity.
It was ungrounded, dude. It was ungrounded.
After the crash, all the Concorde aircraft were grounded for at least a month. I was there. Come on.
The fleet was grounded. Of course, they were investigating.
And and after they were ungrounded, they never flew at full capacity after that because people were wary of it.
Well, yes, of course.
And if it's not flying at full capacity, it's not going to be a profit.
Still,
and it was already losing money at full capacity.
Still, they planned to push ahead and not ground. Okay. It was planned. They were investing in upgrades and next versions.
No, they weren't. I'm reading right here. End-to-end, an aging fleet with a high maintenance cost, a lack of trust from passengers following a 4590 crash, and its economic inefficiencies were to be the main contributors to Concorde's downfall.
Chief economic inefficiency was the fact that only 2 airlines was invested in it. Had it on the fleet.
Also bear in mind the times we live today and how the economy is in a way going down.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Because in a economic decline, luxuries go away. Necessity steps in. That's
okay. All right, I'm done. I'm done. This is what I remember. This is a rabbit hole discussion that we kind of got rid of a couple of years ago.
I think
you have your opinion. I have mine.
Yeah. The problem is you're talking from facts. Someone else is going, "Oh no, it's my opinion," when it's completely wrong. And he thinks it's completely right.
I'm
reading right out of articles online. So.
No, wait. Did you actually look into the history with the upgrades and everything?
I'm that last bit I read online was after the upgrades.
And they also planned a new model with slats.
And well, they did, but that never made it off the drawing board either. So.
I want to give you an interesting story. I want to give you an interesting story about what happened with the Concorde that some people may not have known. Do you know that after it was taken out of service, Richard Branson actually approached them to take over the Concorde to fly for Virgin Atlantic?
Yeah. And then BA went, no, we don't want a rival airline
to remember,
buy it and
a few years before, Richard Branson was the one who had on all of his planes when British Airways and American Airlines wanted to merge. Richard Branson led a campaign against that merger and on all of his aircraft he painted the slogan, BAAA, no way. And when he approached British Airways and Air France to buy the Concorde, they reminded him of that, and they said, "Nope, we're not selling it to you."
Oh, this looks a little bit better.
Did you see the message, Sarah?
This looks a little bit better. A little bit better.
Okay.
Let's have a look at your cockpit. All we're seeing is the map at the moment.
Well, I'm not almost done, but I mean, this looks a lot better. I'm actually seeing numbers where there should be numbers.
That's good.
I think the problem is if she drank a little bit less, she has to drink more.
No, first officer never aligned my IRS.
You went there, Jesse. You went there.
I think your first officer's the one that has to drink some more, not you.
Go get some water to counter this.
Oh, yay! I'm seeing altitudes and speeds! Yay!
The power.
You're seeing speed?
Yeah.
Where? Because I don't see it in any of my guides.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. Everything looks way better.
I'm quite the Concorde fanatic, actually.
Oh, we can tell.
We have a route.
Interesting thing.
You're quite Concorde fanatic. Shame you don't know about it.
What do I don't have specifically?
We put it to rest. Come on.
Well,
yeah, let's change the subject.
I'm still flying with you.
Your opinion is that the economy
Concorde,
of the world is not affected. I disagree.
I'm still flying with you.
We have agreed to disagree, and that's where we will leave it.
Yeah, but you won't be able to actually prove it.
We have agreed to disagree, so that's where we should.
So let's just drop
and
it.
we shall walk on to another topic.
Let's just drop it and go on to something else and celebrate our New Year's. You know?
Yeah.
Let's just breathe and celebrate
So, Sarah.
our New Year's. Yes, Ensign.
Have you gotten the message I sent you?
I have not, actually. I'll take a look as soon as I actually take off, or as soon as I start up.
Hang on.
Which this looks a lot better. Look at my screen if you don't believe me.
Oh, I believe you.
I would look at it, but I can't see.
You sure about that?
Yes, I'd better be
He's been lying to everybody forever.
For the last 42 years. 43 years.
44.
Whatever.
Right here, 45.
I call 29.
Shit, I wish I was 29 again.
I do too. I wish I were 29 too.
My body wishes I was 29 again.
Okay, that doesn't sound like fireworks to me. That sounds like gunshots now.
No, in your area, it's probably gunshots.
What do you know about my area?
Pre-flight checklist.
Well,
oxygen,
what?
navigation, transfer, normal and auto, window heat,
Anson's in Texas,
on,
so yeah, there's a
pressurization
whole
mode
bunch of drunk
selected,
Texans
auto,
probably
flight
out
instruments.
shooting guns into the air. Really. I lived in Texas for 3 years too, and yeah, New Year's Eve they just go. They don't buy fireworks. They just shoot guns.
I just thought it was
into
interesting
the
that he
air.
would say that. He just met me tonight, and he has no idea.
We have to get Sarah one day to go do that in her neighborhood on New Year's.
No, you live in America. America's pretty loose with gun control.
All right.
Oh, we're not pretty loose. We are loose.
Yeah, no, it's non-existent. And so obviously, when you let's put it this way, people are drugged up and drunk on New Year's Eve, so they're just going to be stupid. One of the ways to be stupid is firing the gun into the air.
Yeah.
Take Britain for example.
I'm checking. I'm replying.
Take Britain for example with gun control. We had one murder, yeah, and all guns were banned. That was it, straight away. All guns were banned. You have loads of murders. Oh, naughty you. Just carry on as normal. That's your gun control.
Yeah.
If you ban all guns, you'll save thousands and thousands of lives a year. But no, don't want it because politicians will lose money because the gun companies lining their pockets.
I'll tell you what, if I wanted to go on a rampage, I could easily go to a depot, get 2 pipes and a nail and make a shotgun. I have a gun, but I could even do that as well. I have a shotgun.
Well, no, you could walk into an army base now and bribe a general or someone that works in an army to give you guns.
If you want to fly supersonic, this is how you do it right there. Look, I posted a picture, and I think it's posted in there. Hell, I don't know.
By the way, I posted a video in general from Mentor Pilot. It's a pretty good look into the crash and part of the Concorde history.
Yeah, did you? I posted mine in. Where did I post it at? Screenshots. I posted a picture.
300.
I don't see it.
Don't
in
see
screenshots.
No,
only my landing.
You probably put it in the wrong place.
Upload file. I don't know. Who knows? Let me try and put it.
No, in screenshots, you see where the messages is. Press that circle with the cross in it, and then upload file that way.
Okay.
And then obviously, once it's uploaded, press enter.
Let me try that.
Because,
sorry it's taking me a while, guys. We are having some technical
We are in
difficulties.
no rush.
There you go. That's how you fly supersonic right there.
The messages aren't involved with me.
Nah, fighter jets. Yeah, okay.
That looks like an F-14 cockpit.
That's a F-16.
That is cool, but I still like a Concorde more rainy day.
Yeah, but this is a picture of my wife. She actually got a ride in F-16, so she broke the sound barrier.
Oh, nice.
Heading set, altitude set, parking brake.
Oh,
set
wait,
fuel
is she
control
like
switches.
a pilot?
Cut off. Checklist complete.
My wife's a nurse.
How low is she held up? How low she held up? That's the most interesting part.
She puked 3 times. She pulled 7.5 Gs. She did Mach 1.5. She flew through the Grand Canyon and she did 270 knots, 200 feet above the ground. And she took off from the base here and they accelerated almost vertically, about 80 degrees up to 10,000 feet. And then they did a barrel roll at 10,000 feet and leveled off and headed to the training area.
Let me tell you,
that was all
Randy's
after
wife
burner
is the
takeoff.
true definition of a boss.
I bet after she got out of there and walked up to you, she told you that she'll remember this.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
That's after the flight right there.
She'll remember this. She'll remind you this later.
She doesn't look quite so organized after the flight. She did going in.
Doesn't look too bad. Puking 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, she spent about an hour, 55 minutes airborne in F-16. And she was one of the lucky few to get that.
I need to step away for real quick. I'm going to make a phone call. Oh, it's almost time to descend. Okay, hold on.
Oh, man, I'd probably pause. Nope, not yet. Yeah, no, my wife's a nurse, man. She's not a pilot. She doesn't know anything about it. They had to tell her how to do everything in the airplane.
Yeah, basically, you see that big stick in front of you, don't touch it. See that big red handle, don't touch that.
No, actually, she got to, she had to go through 3 days of training. She had to get a flight physical the first day and then go through phys training. Then she had to be sized for a flight suit and a helmet and a G-suit. And then the 3rd day was egress training, where they taught her
going to the chamber, the gravity chamber.
No, she didn't have to do that. They just did a flight physical on her, and then of course she had a G-suit on. But he took her up to 7.5 G. He did a 7.5 G pull, and he asked her, "Do you want to do a 9 G pull?" And she said, "No, thank you." And she lost her lunch about the 2nd time at that point. So she brought down three puke bags full. They all do. She flew upside down, and they did loops and barrel rolls, and when they do an incentive flight for people, she won a big award. She was a nurse, a civil service nurse on our base next to us, and she won a big award, and that's how she got this flight. She got to go on the flight because she won this big award. And so she doesn't know anything about airplanes, but
quick question. What runway were we going on?
8.
8, okay.
8 and don't use the transition.
Okay.
Oh. Whoops, I forgot to put my stuff in the speed tape.
Oh, by the way, at the end of this flight, doesn't everybody just kind of disappear? I'm having Sarah help me with something.
Oh, okay.
I hope I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, it's already 9 o'clock. You're asking an awful lot.
Is it
I really hope I can do this.
Is it something
You
involving
can.
by any chance?
Just wait for it, Jesse. Don't ask him to look for a gift to us in the mouth.
God damn it. I just hope I can do this.
You'll do it. You'll be able to fine. It'll be fine.
So
Okay.
Randy's past your bedtime already?
Huh?
Oh, yeah, it is. Lately, it is. Freaking usually by 8 o'clock, I'm dying.
Right.
Next
It's
time
11
she's
o'clock here.
descending into terrain, you better help her.
Yeah. That's 9 o'clock here, so...
Before start checklist.
Yeah, it is past my bedtime.
Flight
And I
deck
took
door.
my chemo drugs this morning,
Closed and
so
locked.
it's been
Fuel.
like a rough day all
2,
day.
5, 6,
I
3,
alarm
5
at 4 o'clock in the
pounds
morning.
checked. Passenger signs.
Yeah,
On
you're
MCP.
up really late.
E2 100
Sweetie, did
heading
they break,
0 altitude
Messenger on
36000 takeoff speeds. V1 140 BR 141 V2 142 set CDU
Messenger
pre-flight
doesn't read
They broke
completed.
anything
Rudder
messages.
aileron trim.
They broke it on PC.
Free and
Use
0
Facebook.com
taxi and takeoff
and
briefing.
Messenger and it's
Completed.
Oh,
Anti-collision
okay,
light.
that's what I
On checklist
thought.
complete.
Because all that I heard was button, 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 button. I'm like, what?
Well, now that we moved over to Discord, I pretty much don't do Messenger much at all anymore. I don't even... I probably won't even open up... I don't like Facebook. I never liked Facebook in the first place, but...
Great Facebook.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Okay,
I never
Concord,
liked
I'm
it way
starting up.
back when.
I push back at this point.
Alright.
Hey guys, are you guys doing another flight after this? Or?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to an
Another
overnight.
flight?
No.
I think this will probably be our last flight.
This is our last one, I think. This is my
definitely my last one. Not after the time that I just had. Yeah, I can't believe this is, I think, the fastest time that I've set up, like the second time. Like, wow.
Fastest time to set up the
I'm
second
starting
time.
up. Do you want me to connect, Concord?
Yeah, sure.
My flight plan's still
good at
filed, so
taxi.
that's...
I'm
Let
good
me
at
make
taxi.
sure.
Oh,
Let
is
me
there any
make sure
control?
we don't have no. It's
Is there any
empty,
control where I am?
empty airspace. You two are the only ones, and
All
he's. You're not even logged in yet. So
No,
I'm
I
sure
know.
he's logged in.
That's, you know.
Engine 2 cut out.
Oh, let me start my smart cars.
That would
Wait. Why
Starting
should you
engine
start
one.
it up when it's supposed to be smart?
because it's having a day off, so it's feeling pretty dumb right now.
I've started my descent into the area.
Oh, you are. You got pretty fast. Yeah, well, I gotta see where I'm at. I haven't been paying much attention. I've been messing around with everything else.
I am 12 miles from total distance.
Yeah, I see Landy is at top of descent right now, or at least he is from my top of descent.
Oh, how's that? Oh yeah, here he is, way ahead of me. See him.
Okay, Concord, I'm connected.
Engine 1 cut out.
Can you see me?
Hang on a second. Let me see.
Is he?
Hey,
Where'd he go? I don't hear him.
quick question. Can Discord
All
record
engines
video?
stable.
Taxi.
Not flight sim video, you can't.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't think it can record flight sim videos.
No, but like feed, the video feed. Like if I have my camera on, can Discord record video?
I
No,
don't
it can't
know.
record it.
Okay.
It can't record it per se, but we actually did some magic trickery for the talk, and yeah, we managed to make it work. But yeah, that was fun. I was using OBS. He was using something else, and we just kind of did some magic trickery through Discord, and it worked.
Okay.
I can help you do that.
Yeah, I was just asking. Just wanted to know for sure. And I wanted to do that.
The whole thing is basically use Streamlabs or OBS, whatever, to record some kind of a window.
Taxi
which
checklist.
Displays your
generators. On pro-heat. On anti-ice.
And
Set isolation valve. Auto engine start switches. Continuous recall. Checked. Auto brakes. RTO flight controls.
I suppose
full
using
left.
Craps or Zoom would be another.
Full right. Full back. Full forward. Rudder full left.
No, if you want to do
Rudder
another
full
stream
right.
with
Checked.
just your
Ground
face,
equipment. Clear.
obviously it'd
Checklist
probably be
complete.
best bet.
Alright, Concord, where are you?
Actually, yeah, that's a feature to look up the camera. Yeah,
Are you connected to VatSpy, Sarah?
I don't really use VatSpy because
Can see it.
I can't see the map, but I just that thing refreshes way too
V-Pilot,
much.
sorry.
Oh no, I am connected to V-Pilot, yeah.
Yeah, she's connected. I see her waiting to take off there at
I'm at the gate, A gate.
Johannesburg. Get your butt in the air. Just go.
Okay.
I don't see. I only see one at the airport.
No, there's two. I just refreshed it, and there's both of them are on there.
I'm looking on the lantern.
Oh, I'm looking on VatSpy.
But oh yeah.
Landing into runway 8's going to be interesting for you bigger guys with the winds.
Think so? I don't know what were the winds.
Well, right
Okay,
now
I'm going.
says it's at
Let me run my my before takeoff checklist. I'm just gonna go.
Alright,
Go, yeah.
It says winds right now is 240, 17, gusting 29.
Before takeoff checklist.
Oh great,
Flaps.
the weather clears up.
Set
before I get
stabilization
there.
trim.
It might be a fun approach.
Set checklist complete.
Well, I'll let you know.
Flight attendant prepare my takeoff.
What now? FAP. This is right on the horn, so this is like that's rough patch. That is always.
Well, that
played.
wind just picked up because when I checked it before we on departure, I think it was 040 at 4 knots, I think, or something like that is what it was. So there's a system down there right now, Ben.
Isn't this the area that's called the Great Horn of Africa?
Down in that area, yeah.
Yeah, because that has historically been one of the worst sailing conditions for people like Vasco da Gama. So,
People
yeah,
still fear that. There's a stretch of water there sailors still fear.
Yep.
It's the whole bottom part of Africa. It's got the worst weather in the world because it's so open. So obviously the winds just pick up and the waves pick up.
I have a friend who actually lived and worked.
Parking brake off.
Okay.
You out of the way?
Oh, I've got
Looking
friends
forward to
that
seeing
live
you
in
flying.
I'm from
okay.
South Africa.
You out of the way, Concord?
Oh, you
I'll
are,
check that
Jonathan?
silence as yes. I'm going.
Go.
Oh
You're
yeah,
clear.
I'm seeing that.
Jonathan, you said you're originally from South Africa?
Thrust set.
No, I've got friends that live and come from South Africa.
Oh, okay.
From what? Urban. Where is it?
My friend actually worked in Port Elizabeth, where we're heading to right now.
Speed alive.
He was
Check.
the Alliance Française. He was the director of the Alliance Française.
Let's see.
Mike, our Heathrow hub manager, he's from South Africa, but he's
80
been
knots,
living
check.
in London for a long time.
Got a friend in Pretoria as well.
You ever remember David Migley?
Yeah, he hasn't flown for a long time. Migley.
Migley, okay. He is from, I can't remember which city.
Yeah, he hasn't flown for a long time. He's a nice guy.
Okay. He works at a cricket club.
He does coaching, something like
Positive right gear up.
He was. I don't know.
Still is, yeah,
Landing
still
gear
is.
up.
During COVID, it slowed down but pick back up, so he's back in.
You guys have to let me know when you guys get down here. I just thought about 13,000.
VNAV, LNAV, autopilot, VNAV on, Command A on, LNAV on.
Perfect.
The weather's pretty good.
I love vegetables.
Turbulence.
Turnips? Turbulence.
I love vegetables.
Kiss
I
off.
love turbulence.
Yeah, you heard that one too, didn't you?
Yeah.
We went playing
acceleration altitude,
and man, the wake turbulence from those 757s. Oh, it was like incredible. We were at the end of
this
lap
takeoff
2.
felt a lot better than the other one. The other one felt rough.
All right, let me see how you're doing. Are you airborne already?
Yep.
Oops, that should be the 7.
You are, and you're actually, looks like you're actually going the right direction.
Yeah, and everything's set up this time.
The other takeoff
Flaps
felt
1.
wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was wrong.
Like, I couldn't describe it, but it just felt just off.
You seemed underpowered. I wanted to even say check power, but decided not to.
I'm in a tiny plane, so yeah,
Flaps up.
I'm flying heavy.
Well, plus she's got about just over 3/4 power, so she can't put any more power on.
This is going to be tricky.
777.
Yeah, that airport elevation is almost 6,000 feet. It's
Yeah, it is. That's what's driving me. It's like, I'm not used to flying high runway altitudes like this. Like, oh god.
Yeah, your ground roll is going to be 25% longer than sea level. And
complain as you complain as much as you want on the Concorde, but heck, I won't even probably feel it.
no, you will. Aerodynamics and thrust vectoring are the same principle no matter what airplane you fly.
Landing gear.
No matter what airplane you
Up and
fly,
off,
it's the
flaps.
same. It's
Up,
physics
no lights,
is
checklist
physics.
complete.
This takeoff felt actually very,
Let me tell you a thing. I'm at 61 tons, and I have a lot of thrust to weight ratio. So, no, I probably would not feel it.
Transition altitude.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm on the wrong
Check.
90 tons as Concorde.
Yeah, I'm an aircraft mechanic. I worked on supersonic aircraft. I worked with the SR-71. I'm a private pilot. I've done that for years. Aviation's been a part of my life for 40 years, and I have no idea of how altitude affects every
Passing
airplane.
10,000.
I don't understand that.
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying that there's so much thrust to weight ratio that it will be like barely noticeable.
You know, I'm glad you said that, Randy, because I've been teaching French for the last 35 years, and I have yet to figure out what it is to conjugate a verb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been teaching French for all those years, and you still don't know what French is.
I don't know. It's all Greek to me.
Yep.
Southwest to Charlie 33, traffic at Campton, taking off runway 03 left.
I heard ya.
It's like just dead air.
That wasn't silence because you broke it. That means all right, how am I doing? We're doing.
Mailing it down to I missed my top of the set. I'm mailing it down here.
Okay, now Sarah's.
Give these two top as you said. Good.
One question: you said that this airport is at 6,000 feet?
No, our takeoff one. Our takeoff.
Okay.
No, this is down at 279. It's almost
Yeah, I was wondering. I said.
No, FAOR is at it's almost 60.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting for me to land on.
Like,
Well,
I
'cause I'm
knew
in the
something was
747.
wrong. Like, when I was taking off the first time, I'm like, I can't put my finger on it, but something is very wrong here. Like, it felt wrong. Like, it's just, nope.
Well, your engines aren't going to produce the thrust. The ground roll is going to be longer. You need more speed to get off the ground at that altitude.
Because the aircraft wasn't set up correctly.
And then your aircraft wasn't set up correctly, so it didn't understand what was going on.
I didn't even understand what the hell was going on. I'm like, wait, something is wrong. Well, I don't take off from high altitude runways very often, so I'm not used to that.
Yeah. I didn't think anything of it because I do a lot of high altitude airports.
Yeah, I've flown into Mexico a few times, and that's what 10,000
I've taken off from Albuquerque. That's fine.
Mexico is about 5.
Well, that's how it was even more fun.
5,000.
5, 6, 5 and 6.
I want them to get that. I want a really good scenery for that Chinese airport. That's the highest one in the world. I think that would be so cool to land at that. Just the challenge of landing at that airport would be so much fun.
There you go. Mexico is 7,316.
Yeah, it's really high.
Kathmandu you're talking about, Randy?
No, the new Chinese one that they built like, I don't know, 5 years ago.
Your audio was staticky there, Concord.
Let's see here.
I heard you though. Understood you.
Ocean Yading. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, because I've got no idea how to say it. 4,411 meters above the sea.
Are we still looking good there, Randy?
Yep, you're looking good.
Yay!
Yeah, Dusheng Yading, Dushen, Daochen Yading Airport.
The more you say it, the worse it got.
Is in Gazari, Tibetan Autonomous Prefecture of Sichuan Province. And yeah, it's like the highest commercial airport in the world. So that's like 9,000 feet-ish.
How many meters above is that?
4,411.
4,411.
Yeah, 1,404, about 500 feet.
14,500 feet. That's what it is, yeah. Wow, my math's
even turn on your landing lights when you're landing there.
Well, no, I didn't work out my maths. I went to the airport information page.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I used my brain and I Googled it.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but it just, when I pulled up, only shows it in the meters.
No, if you go on the Wikipedia page, it says the altitude.
Does it? Yeah. Yeah, can you... I know the runway added is like hugely long, too. It's a really long runway.
Yeah, it would have to be to the takeoff.
13,700 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unbelievably long.
Is that the runway length, or is that the altitude of the runway?
That's the runway length. The altitude of the runway is higher than that.
How high?
14,000 feet.
Holy Hannah!
All right, doable.
Oh my God! But the air must be thin.
It is thin. That's why the runway's got to be 13,000 feet long.
Because the air.
They prefer to say the air is rare.
Yeah, okay. Look up.
Somebody get those transmission.
Wow.
Just need to give it more thrust and it'll be fine.
What happened?
Oh no.
I want to see what's flying in and out of there. I think they fly A320s and stuff in and out of that airport.
Yay! Yeah, this takeoff felt a bit more better, and my engine sounds a lot better to my ear now. They're not struggling as hard. It's funny. I said to the guy who was helping me with the final taping at the talk, I said, you know, I hate it. Like, I don't know why more pilots don't use their ears and they don't, like, you know, if something sounds wrong, figure it out. Well, yeah, what I didn't do tonight.
Yep.
That's actually really good.
She now sounds smooth, Luke.
Or if it's vibrating, reduce throttle.
I'm headed toward Opala, I think. Opala? 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 I don't know how to say that.
Headed toward the Impala, you better be careful, man.
Yeah, all I'm seeing in your pictures is A3 19s to 21s flying into there.
Yeah. I can't even imagine a 321 going in there fully loaded. That's got to be a challenge.
Leveling off at 3,000. I think I had to come to 2,000 too.
So the takeoff for me was pretty normal.
11, 10.
It's really like a sports car when you fly it at 60 knots.
111, 10.
Help? Ha! I forgot to launch active sky. Oops. I'm flying with 0 weather.
It might be good considering the weather we got coming in here.
It's kind of soupy.
Oh, really?
Yep.
It's windy and turbulent so far is what I'm seeing. Even the turbulence moved down to 13,500.
Well, I already launched active sky, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, you're gonna pay the price.
Yeah, me as well.
Sweetie, now you're flying with hopefully matched data.
Yeah, I think she's still showing her screen, and Jonathan looked at it and he said the whole numbers look good this time around.
Yeah, it looks set up normally now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had about a 20-knot tailwind when I landed.
Did you really? Oh boy. Well, it's got a long runway, so.
No, it's pretty short. About 6,000 feet.
6,000 feet? I thought it was like 9.
Yeah.
Oh no, it is. It's 6,496. Oh crap.
Yeah, I floated a little bit, so I ate up a lot of the runway.
I'm gonna hand land it. No, actually, I think I might let it auto land, and that way it'll tell Sarah. I can tell Sarah how bad it's gonna be.
I like the 777, the ROS package.
Yeah.
You can do the RAS package for everything.
Yeah, you can now.
No, you can get it for everything when it first come out.
Oh, I thought
with the 747, you get it that come with it if you get the captain's pack, and then you can try the RAS unlocked, which is for everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I got it with the PMDG 777 when I bought it.
Yeah.
What did you?
I'll be right back, you guys. I'm gonna go empty my bladder.
Okay, hurry up.
What did you get with the 747?
He bought the FS2 Crew captain's package and with the RAS.
Oh, okay.
So it covers everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can cover everything with it.
No, the RAS is locked to that aircraft, but if you buy RAS unlocked, then obviously.
Oh yeah, then you can go. Yeah.
It announces the runways that you're going to be on when you cross the runways, etc.
Yeah. Approaching 27 left.
I have that for both the. I think Airbus has it too.
Yeah, it does. It's locked to the Airbuses.
And probably I'm not really pushing it here, but I think the 787 has it.
Yeah,
if you buy, as I said, the RAS unlocked, then it obviously works everything in.
Did they upgrade the 787?
Not.
I haven't flown it for like 3 or 4 years, so I don't know where it is. I would probably have to see if I have to.
If it's a speed package or.
If I have to buy it again, I would have to buy it again. It's been that long ago since I bought it originally.
Oh god.
I'd have to go look at the version I even have. I don't even know which one it is. It's one of the first versions I have. I flew it quite a bit when it first came out.
I'll have a look at what version I've got. you bought it for FSX, didn't you?
I'm not sure.
I think we did.
Because you've got to buy it for V4, which is obviously the 64-bit and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, let me see if I can figure that out.
I think the same license we got.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Same license that we got is English version 5.
Yeah, it should buy for version 5. I'm not too sure to do that.
Yeah, it does. Alright, swinging back to catch the ILS.
Yeah, the Ultimate 787 collection for FSX, and then obviously for V4 you've got to buy it again. And the latest V4 version is 1.4.0.
See if I can even find where I have it.
Flight 1.
Wings 787. Yeah, I got it for. I have it for FSX.
Yeah, so you got to buy the V4 version.
Well, wait a minute. I have upgrade stuff here.
The license we got is the same. It works.
No,
I have one
FSX version, and then you need to buy the V4
no,
version.
Randy knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, actually, I've got some upgrade files in my folder for it. Let's say P3DV4. I have like I have like 3 or 4 versions of a P3D4 upgrade. So that would probably work, yeah. Does yours work in V5 or did you?
Yeah, it does. It does. I've run it often in V5. Yeah.
Because didn't we get ours straight from Quality Wings?
Mm-hmm. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get it. Yeah, that's right. Because we connected with the. We were at one of the expos and we talked them into giving us some copies.
Well, no, that's not what happened. Remember we would test flyers.
Oh, that's right.
And
the beta test
flyers.
Yeah, the beta test lasted like a week. Yeah. Yeah. Now I remember that. Yeah, it was a long time ago. But we had met Quality Wings at the.
Yep.
And that's why we got on like the beta test list, the short list.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't with the cool kids, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, check your messages there, Anson. Well, when you land, of course.
Okay, yeah, I'm on final right now. Thanks.
Yeah, no, take your time. I don't like those winds I'm seeing up where I am. Oy.
Yeah,
you'll get
gusting,
over it.
But no gusts.
Yeah, it's
but,
between 6 and 721.
No gusts. No gusts where I am.
Concord is
on final. It's gusting.
Concord doesn't.
I got 264 at 31. Yuck. Well, actually, that's not too bad.
That's not bad. Yeah, I had a crosswind almost all the way. But I'm just worried about the wind here.
Oh, no, this is a tailwind. Shoot.
Yeah, it's going to be a tailwind. But this is the only ILS.
Yeah. It's a 21 knot tailwind. 21 gusts.
Oh, God. Have fun.
17 to 20.
How far are you out, Anson?
About 3 miles.
Maybe when I get there, the winds will be better. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe not. 500.
We got some bruises to do, actually.
Oh yeah, I know I'm going to be getting some bruises. Well, the plane will anyway, but yeah.
400.
Well, hey, I'm still sharing my screen. You're all going to get to see this.
300.
I'm watching. I got some monitors.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of nice. I don't need to rush for a little bit. I always rush 24/7.
I'm going as fast as this plane can go. I'm pushing it to the red line.
137.
I am not pushing it at all.
Hey, float.
I've got enough fuel to burn, so I can push it to the red line, and that's exactly what I'm doing. It's not screaming at me, so that's good.
You use some runway there. I got some.
Well, yeah, better use all of it than, you know.
There's a saying among pilots, I think, like, you're slacking if you're not clacking.
Yeah. Hey, they made that runway that long for a reason. They made it so you could use it.
Mm-hmm.
The runway I took off from, or the runway I'll be landing at?
Both, all of them.
Any runway.
Oh, see, I always land with maximum auto brakes because I am never sure, you know.
We pay for whole runway, we use whole runway.
That's right. I was wondering why you stopped so short when we landed in Perth, because you stopped really short there. I was wondering how you got off the runway.
I'm always very cautious.
Well, with me actually, Concorde has good brakes, by the way.
Yeah.
For me. And also powerful reversers.
I got carbon brakes on my 737, so.
I'm not sure what I have. I have whatever the
You're as
is.
sophisticated as a damn.
My brakes is I open the window and stick my arm out.
Oh, well.
Do Fred Flintstone Blakes, stick your feet
Yeah,
out the bottom of the
just grab the
airplane.
nearest signpost and come to a stop, man.
Yeah, throw out an anchor.
Rubber band across the driveway.
Wait. The Russian Tupolev used braking parachutes.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
That's actually kind of weird for an airliner. Like, they were pushed so hard that it's basically like a mil-spec airliner in a sense.
Yeah, because the engineering was so bad they've got to resort to parachutes.
Oh God.
It's not even,
maybe, this was before carbon materials and this kind of thing, so maybe they were trying to avoid the brakes from flaming up.
I think for what the Russians had, the engineers did a great job, but
yeah, because they stole all the secrets of Boeing and Airbus. Oops, sorry, did I say that out loud?
You did.
As well. But keep in mind, they still designed a completely different new design. They of course did use the research that the others did, absolutely. However, I do think the Russian engineers here were very much pressured and rushed, and that's why the project ended up like that.
Well, the reason they were rushed, though, was they're Russian. No, I'm kidding.
It's just the Soviet Union. It's the typical. They want it tomorrow.
That's good. I like that.
It happen tomorrow, and we don't care if it's impossible.
My piano teacher always said, "Sarah, you're Russian. You're not Russian. Don't rush."
I am Russian.
Look at the ILS 96. That was a copy of the 767, and the engines were so underpowered they had to add an extra 2 engines to it to even take off.
Yeah, it's really turbulent here. But I'm letting it auto land, and we'll just see how bad it turns out.
I respect what the British and French did, because the rest were bragging, showing up, trying to be the first and failing. The British at least managed to design a working aircraft because their focus was at making a good aircraft, good supersonic aircraft, not outmatching everyone, not going Mach 3 or something.
You on final yet there, Randy?
Yeah, I'm on a short final, about a half mile.
No pressure, but I'm not thinking.
And it seems like I'm covering ground awfully fast.
Yeah.
21 knots right on the tail.
Oh dear.
I think I'm gonna do Sarah braking. Max.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Okay, I'm gonna let it auto land. It's so far it hasn't kicked the autopilot off. We'll see.
That happened to me. My autopilot cut off like about 200 feet from the air. I'm like, no.
Yep. Turbulence can do that. It can turn it off. As soon as it overwhelms the autopilot system,
And then what do I do then? Panic?
Yep. Just let it rest down to the runway. Yeah, it's floating like a son
I was
of a
200
gun
feet
here.
from the ground, and it wasn't going to work. Well, it kind of did work, and boom.
He's down.
Nice.
Pop smoke. A blaze of glory.
Whoa, yeah, I'm using that all but the last 1,000 feet here. Max auto brakes and thrust reversers.
Oh God.
Got my passengers coming out. Plane.
About 2,000 feet remaining.
Oh no, I was landing at a 777 for the cargo flight actually, for one of the cargo tours. Was it 1,000 feet remaining? And I was still going extremely fast. I'm like, oh no, Ross.
I've done that a few times where the auto throttle hasn't kicked off, so I've still got some power down to the engines when I'm actually standing on the brakes.
They must have said I'll be good to it. Oh no, that's Chris. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be my last flight for the night. I'll watch Sarah get
in
here.
Before anybody logs off.
Oh, I'm not logging off. I'm going to stay here and watch Sarah.
Okay, so how far out are you at anyway?
266 nautical miles from descent.
Okay.
33 minutes and
start up the APU and just sit here in the cockpit.
I'm pushing this plane as fast as she can go.
Randy just killed the baggage handlers on my plane.
I hope I will have enough time to have a smoke before arrival.
Didn't you already have a smoke?
Not enough.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm almost done with my first drink. That's gonna be it for me for the night.
I have I live with my friends in England and Copenhagen. When they say they're going for a smoke, it's not exactly they're going to smoke an entire cigarette. They just kind of take like maybe 10 puffs, maybe 5 puffs, and they put it out.
No, some people do have a whole cigarette, some people don't.
Yeah. So one cigarette could last them like 3 light-ups.
I smoked for 21 years. I was a heavy smoker. 2 packs a day typically.
Jesus, Randy?
Yeah. My brother still smokes, and he smokes 2 or 3 packs a day. He's freaking just drives me insane. I've been trying to get him.
You kind of do have like that deep smoker's voice, you know?
Oh, I haven't smoked since 1995.
Oh.
So I've been off cigarettes way long enough. I just have a very deep voice because I'm very manly and masculine.
You just have a deep voice, yeah.
and yeah, I'm a very manly guy.
I love the transition.
I think it's old age.
I love the transition Evan did right from when I am really ranting and raving and pissed about accessibility of Microsoft Flight Sim and explain about accessibility of both, and then, hi, this is Evan from, like, okay, that's good, that's good.
I'll never forget. Who's heard of Tramp? No one?
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad the developer isn't here to hear this, or whatever I said.
You know what? I would have been glad for the developer had been there so we could have just trashed them in public.
No, you don't want to do that.
I didn't. That's why I didn't. I'm like, no.
You will be classed. You'll be classed in company that you don't want to keep.
Yeah, and you'll never be asked to speak again there.
And you will never get out of that group. You'll never get out of that classification.
That's why I just quit while I was ahead, and I just went right to the next slide.
No, at least you were nice and you were fair in your criticisms. But there are some people who go there and they just.
Some people are
not just on stage, but just walking around and looking at the different stuff. Whether it is.
Not only that, some people are deeply, deeply offended when you don't like their product or their thing.
Yeah, no, the developer, well, anyway, Tramp is, but anyway.
We had a vatsim controller walk up to us this past time here, and he says, "Who are you all?" I said, "We're flyvirtual.net." He said, "But I've never heard of yeah." And then I give him this spiel about who we are, and then he says, "Well, how come I've never heard of you all? Do you all fly on vatsim?" I said, "We fly all the time." That's what I've never heard of you all. I looked at him and I said, "Do you read the comments? Do you read the comments of the flight plan?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, that's where you would have heard of us because we all put flying as flyvirtual.net."
I don't. Well, I don't put flyvirtual.net. Like I should probably.
Yeah, most of us do when we fly on vatsim.
I haven't today. I haven't put it in there, but I usually
always put it in. So I just stuck his bullshit right back down his throat. The other one was talking about he came by to hear about our virtual airline, and then he started boasting about how much better and realistic it is.
Oh yeah.
But he has like 60 pilots, maybe barely.
How can you comment on how much better his airline is if he doesn't even know your airline?
Yeah, that's what people do. They just go there and they just, They believe that they know everything about everything, and they just
and then they act like they're big shots until you tell them that we average 100 flights a day, and then all of a sudden they want to be your partner.
Yeah.
Because they want it. We've already learned how that process works.
Oh yeah.
What they want to do is they want to bleed your membership. And nope, we don't need partners. We do fine on our own.
So you guys want to be partners?
Nope.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey Jay, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
How you doing, Almost Evan?
Almost Evan.
I swear,
I got all sorts of nicknames.
Just like him.
You know, now that you bring it, now that you mention it, kind of
like
he
him.
does, doesn't he?
Yeah, kind of soft-spoken, kind of manner, yeah.
By the way, AJ, I've already done today 2 flights from vatsim.
Oh, very nice.
He's doubled his lifetime flight.
I'm on a third, and I'm... I can't really explain what happened, but do you want to explain what happened on my last?
I can't.
It
was a disaster. She augered into the ground.
Did she have some ATC issues or something, or?
No, she had some setup issues. She took off and she didn't have. There was obviously some IRS problems. Her PFD and nav display were blank.
It was a fleshy bit behind the controls error, i.e. she didn't set up the aircraft.
Something happened during her...
Something happened. I'm not sure what happened. Someone didn't do their job correctly.
That's what they did.
Okay, I landed at 259.
Okay, not bad.
I was pitch 1, so I was really flat hitting it, and I was rolled 2 degrees to the right because of turbulence. And I touched down at 163 knots. So yeah.
Yikes.
Let's see what I did.
I knew when I was on shore final I was covering the ground really fast.
I touched down negative 279. Pitch was 5. Roll level was 147 knots.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Flap.
See, I just let it auto land. I was completely hands off.
Yeah, I don't do that with the Airbuses. That thing slams into the ground too much.
Yeah,
I can, but I choose not to. Nope, not gonna do it. Not unless I have
Especially
to.
if it's the Aerosoft one. Aerosoft did not design that thing correctly.
What is the best we have? So.
Yeah.
Well,
did you say it's the best we have? That's not true.
I'm not gonna start the debate between Aerosoft and FS Labs. I'm just saying. Let's just say I'm satisfied with what I have.
Okay, that's fair. FS Labs is rather expensive, but I've heard the systems are better.
The Aerosoft one is basically just shove it out and make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
Sorry? What?
The Aerosoft Airbuses are just make them, shove them out and make as much money as possible. At the time the A320 in 1819 was released, there's pretty much nothing else out there.
Yeah.
All the rest of it was basically just freeware coverage as payware.
Yeah.
Aerosoft when it first came out was basically payware-ish Airbus.
Pre-Aerosoft, Wilco's Airbus was the one who was the go-to.
I remember that one. Oh boy.
It had its limitations. It had a lot of limitations.
Oh boy, did it have its limitations, especially in the VC. It was the only thing out there that was making Airbus on a regular basis, and they made all of them. From the narrow bodies to the wide bodies. Well, they did make the A380 for a little bit, and then they stopped. Yeah. I'm waiting for somebody to make the 350, but I think it's going to be like Quality Wings with the 787. It's going to take somebody a long time to figure that one out.
The freeway one that they have now, the model is fine, but I tried flying it the other day and I was like,
X-Plane has one. I wish they would come over and
What freeway one you talking about? TDS?
TDS, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's basically just A350 skin. And that's it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about replacing the air file with the 787 air file instead. I don't know, do some
TDS is okay. I've flown them, but nah. Unfortunately, I had to use Tramp, so.
Oops, we just came on again.
Well, Jonathan, you gonna land?
Yeah.
Ooh, 11
seem to be flying circles.
Yeah, I'm coming back round for runway 8.
Who, me?
What?
No, Jonathan.
Oh.
Going back out to sea, then turning back round and then landing on the runway 8.
Okay, you stretched out.
You look a little high too.
No, my screen says runway 8 is the other end, but it's not. Alright, let's do this the other way then. Just land on runway 26.
Well, that's not fun.
I would.
But that's no fun. You're not going to get the 22 knot tailwind.
If I would have not been looking for the ILS, I definitely would have landed on the opposite runway.
Test the metal of the Concorde.
We'll see what happens when I
with the 22 knot tailwind.
When I get there.
Concorde will arrive safely.
You made it. You made it, Concorde?
No,
not yet, but I will. I'll be good. The worst that can happen is a hard landing. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's... Well, we'll see what happens when I get there. I'm not liking what I'm seeing up here in the sky right now. Yes.
I'm going to try to make a quick phone call.
You're going to be fine.
I'm going to make a quick phone call.
In 267,
you're going to make... Did you say you're going to make a fuckwit phone call?
A quick phone call.
Ooh, he's going to call that 1-800 number? Wow.
No, I'm calling my sister-in-law.
Aww.
Be right back.
Ooh, man. Wow. It's been a long day.
9 more minutes.
This has been fun.
I've been sitting here for almost 12 hours.
Nice.
How was your dinner?
Quick, easy, good. I was real hungry.
Yet.
No, actually, I did. I ate, guys. Well, we were just after we took off from Calgary, going to Perth. I just muted my microphone out when I was chopping my food.
I had a chicken sandwich. I had the chicken sandwich flavor. That was good.
Share it with me. I wasn't real hungry anyway.
The chicken sandwich had not jalapenos, pepperoncinis, and I love pepperoni slices. I could just eat that in anything.
Man, I can't. I used to like to do that, but I can't anymore. It'll be like suicide.
Some idiot setting off fireworks in my neighborhood. Oh, God.
You have to narrow that down. It pretty much started about 7 o'clock for me.
I'm exceedingly jumpy, so it's just like, okay. I always think that something's out to get me.
Wait. She's jumping? She's jumping? Wow. Be careful you don't jump too high. I don't want you to hit your head on the roof or anything.
I jumped so high, I hit the sky. Didn't come back till the 4th of July.
Yikes.
Now it's been actually quiet here. We've only had a couple of people shooting so far. Hopefully it'll stay quiet because I'm figuring that I'll probably be in bed by midnight.
It won't stay quiet here. We have 300,000 people gathered at the strip right now, waiting for the fireworks performance at midnight. So yeah, nope.
Our redneck count out here has gone down quite a bit. So in my immediate neighborhood, we've got a lot more professional people and a lot less rednecks. So the firework count has gone down considerably.
What's the count falling to?
The count of fireworks has went down with the count of rednecks. Right?
Rednecks, old Milwaukee, and gunpowder and guns. This just what's all but 4th of July right there.
Oh God.
When I lived in Abilene, Texas, out in the sticks, man.
You set up fireworks for Christmas, New Year's,
birthdays,
4th of July,
days at ending day,
everything. What? They do fireworks, everything.
Fridays.
They set them off for the days at ending day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I live in a state where they're banned.
When the home team played in Corpus Christi on a Friday night, yeah, after the game would have after the baseball game would have a fireworks display.
No, in my neighborhood you cannot have fireworks except for 4th of July and New Year's. Otherwise, you get a fine.
You should see every parking lot between here and the next 10 miles has a fireworks trailer.
Oh God.
Yeah, we used to be like that, but
I wish you guys could hear what I'm hearing out my window right now.
This last summer they did a big bust on on a couple of the fireworks dealers that were selling illegal fireworks from Mexico, and they put a bunch of people in jail. And so now it's like really laid back, and so the fireworks they have for sale here really aren't worth messing with. But you can tell a couple of them that went off earlier. You know they went down to Mexico and got them and brought them back across the border. So.
Oh no! Here, there's a neighbor of mine that has like one of those things like they have at Disney, those big tube things that they
mortars. That's what they had here. I mean, we had people that were launching like 4-inch mortars with a freaking, a 4-pound explosive package on it. They were buying them in Mexico. They were going down there and getting them from Mexico.
Oh yeah, you can get them from the Indian reservation here. My friends do it.
So it's like they're professional grade fireworks, and you got these freaking drunks messing around with this stuff. Here, I'll light it with my teeth.
Yeah.
Hold my beer while I light this with my teeth.
Oh,
scratch the roach across the gold tooth. Hey Ma, scratch this across the gold tooth.
Well, funny thinking that as like a 12-year-old or something, or a 16-year-old kid, I was a lot wiser than those guys. Yet I manufactured my own explosives and firearms. So kind of fun.
Yeah, you don't want to do that here.
I made a musket.
Well, actually, hold on.
Musket and also actual explosive burst fragmentals, and also just acoustic. And yeah, they shook up the ground.
Isn't it still legal, perfectly legal here to 3D print your own gun?
No,
not anymore.
Oh, they got rid of that now?
No,
okay.
You got all kinds of states passing laws against that stuff right now. Matter of fact, they just busted some guy in, I can't remember what state. He was actually one of the people who that got arrested at the Capitol for the siege. They just arrested him again because they raided his house and he had like 20 undetectable guns, that were parts guns and stuff. Yeah, now you can't. They're getting, every state's getting rid of that now.
Even you're really high up.
To be fair,
I know.
It's not about 3D printing. It's about home gun manufacturer as a whole. Because most actual professionals, and let's even say criminals, would use a CNC machine and develop a strong, reliable part.
Yeah, well,
3D printing is not really great for it. You can combine it with some metal works, then it will be good, but otherwise...
Yeah, but it's like here they got it was real popular a couple of years ago to 3D print a gun that was only capable of one shot.
I remember this, yes.
That's idiotic. I'm not going to shoot a gun that will explode in my hands, no thank you.
The thing is, it's still a deadly weapon, but people were doing it. And so now, what's that? What Thingiverse? Thingiverse had all the STL files for all the parts, and they're not even allowed to put them on those places anymore. You have to go to like these dark web overseas places. There you go.
That looks like a nice landing. People, I mean, you gotta stop eventually, but let's see how it goes.
No, I'm rolling down to the taxiway down here.
Nice. Nicely done.
16 minutes away from top percent. Yay.
Alright.
Like I said, I'm pushing this thing as fast as she can go.
Yeah, I don't know where it's...
I'm almost there.
I'm gonna go have a key. Oh, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't capture the glide slope then.
But to be fair, also easier thing would be 2 pipes and a nail. than a 3D printer. So you can't really ban it. Anyone who wants it will get it. When I find out
the ball. It's 40 seconds away.
The what? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh nope. No, nope. It's midnight now.
Oh well, I'm watching it delayed. I guess I'm on a TV stream.
Happy New Year, Eastern.
I'm sending them onto my East Coast. My brother's on the East Coast.
That's the ball.
Yeah,
yet.
I'm on the East Coast.
Has New York's ball got yet?
Yeah, the winner.
Yeah.
So all the they said that they scaled back the New Year's Eve gatherings. What exactly did they do?
If you look at this crowd versus what it looked like in 2019, you would see it's massively smaller.
Okay.
Not here.
I wonder how they managed to keep people away.
Yeah.
The London one was scaled back quite a lot because I didn't really see any people actually in the crowd.
No, not here.
No.
Here, we still have 300,000 people.
Yeah, but in your governor and state, I mean, New York is one of those states that took it very seriously, and they have the COVID digital passes, whereas other states like Texas have the policy. What is it, Anson, that you can't even ask for the vaccine card? You would know better than me.
I carry mine all the time, so I don't mind asking for it.
Oh, okay. Just every state has flipped different laws.
Nevada is very
It's kind of like you can't ask someone for proof that they
Center
are
tank's below 1,000 pounds
in the country. You can ask them if they are, and they'll reply, but you can't ask them to provide proof.
That's Texas, right?
Some states are like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't ask me for my green card, but they could just ask me on the form if I was illegally allowed to live in the U.S.
In Arizona, they do that verify thing with the social security number, which is just...
That was a controversial move. I remember that when I was in the South of that.
I'm getting my descent wins.
I'm gonna go start a new flight.
We used to have, illegal immigrants, like, they would hang out in certain, like, empty corners to look for day work, and they don't do that anymore because they'll get arrested. And
yeah, they used to do that at Home Depot and Lowe's.
Yeah, Home Depot and Lowe's, they were always in the parking lot, yeah.
Was infamous for it.
They'd arrest them and deport them. I never hired any of them, but my neighbors did. They said you can get a guy that'll work. If it's just labor work that you want to do, they'll work like all day for $25.
Yeah, that was like.
It's like.
I was just taking advantage of desperate people.
Yeah. There's some illegal fireworks going off now. Anything that shoots a projectile now in Arizona is illegal. So if it shoots a projectile into the air, it's illegal, and there's a whole bunch of them they're doing now. Somebody is over there down the street.
Honestly, it shouldn't be. But there should be a certain time limit to let people sleep.
There never is here.
No, I'm not gonna go on the balcony right now at 7 a.m. and start popping shots out.
There is when it comes to unreasonable amount of noise,
Sorry.
If you're playing music, amplified music or this kind of thing, beyond 10, 11 o'clock, yeah, you shut that shit down.
Yeah, we'll do that if you have a loud music going, they'll do that. But for fireworks,
yeah, fireworks has no limit.
Yo.
Public concerts, I think they have to apply for a permit to go up to a certain time, and then as soon as that time is done, yeah, shut that down.
Hey, Anson.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen any PMDG paints of the with the new Caribbean Airlines paint?
The new Caribbean Airlines paint? They changed it?
Oh, you haven't seen the new plane?
No, I know that just the white one with the hummingbird on the tail and the
Yeah.
Caribbean Airlines with the magenta. Is that the one you're talking about, or there's a newer one?
The Caribbean Airlines bird with all the crazy colors.
No, haven't seen that one.
Hold on,
Give me a
let
link.
me, yeah.
Now we got a new member join with an 88,000 vatsim ID. I wonder what his stats are looking.
vatsim.net.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Every time somebody puts their IDs in for IVAO or vatsim, I go look at their accounts.
88,000 ID, that sounds like a most first user.
Let's see, it's an older number. Yeah, he's got 11,000 or 1,074 hours.
Speedbird just comes through like a muscle bully through everything.
That's nothing compared to some people. Some people are freaks, man.
These people obtaining all these hours. I mean, oh my God.
We have people like, we just had one guy sign up with 15 or 17,000 hours on vatsim.
Yeah, that sounds more like mine. I think I have about 10,000.
We don't give them all 15,000, do we?
No, we give them 125.
Right.
But I'm amazed.
I'm
amazed at some people how many hours they have on vatsim, because it's like you spent your life on vatsim.
vatsim has been around since what, 2002?
2021, because they just had their 20-year event this year.
2001 then, okay.
2001,
yeah. That's what I meant.
Hi guys.
Hi Jesse.
Just wanted to wish all of you a very happy new year from Florida.
How did you get to
thank
Florida?
You very much. I'm getting messages from my brothers in Florida right now.
How did he get to Florida?
I thought he lived in Florida. Or
he
lived
in Florida.
I thought you lived in Vegas.
No!
I
wish!
I wish too!
Oh, okay.
And yes, sweetie, and yes.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
And sweetie, yes, I do have here in my hands a cup of cider.
Alright, so, Sarah and I have been kind of talking for the last hour or so. So we got something that we want to do.
No.
This is going to be hard for me to do with plane in my ear, but okay.
Go for it.
I'm on the right.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and old long ago?
For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. Happy New Year to
Happy New Year.
How sweet.
Great job.
We were serenaded.
Serenaded. You were serenaded.
Yeah, you were serenaded. Yeah.
And I haven't even had anything to drink, and I can't even say
I'm
words.
surprised I was able to do that with plane in my ear, but yeah.
Man, I know 2020 and 21 have been like bitches of a year, excuse my French.
God, yeah.
But I'm really glad that we're kind of sticking through it, and we're really, sticking through it as a community and everything. And I just want to say that I appreciate every single one of y'all, new and old. And I just hope that we continue to be like this through 2021, 2022.
I didn't like the way you deepened your voice when you said old.
I did that?
Yeah. It's like
it's the accent.
Young
it's the accent.
and old.
Oh my God.
I use my prepubescent voice, and then I use my maturity, my balls drop voice.
Yeah, for the old part.
Yes.
No,
to emphasize the old.
And Anson, you sang the German version of Auld Lang Syne.
I did. I sang the Scottish, the old Scottish pronunciation of
Auld
Auld Lang Syne.
Which I never do.
That thing has like about 5 verses. I remember singing all 5 verses one time.
I used to know, like, well, I've heard them all, but I don't know them all.
Yeah, tomorrow I'll do the stats and I'll send out an email, the Happy New Year email. But yeah, it hasn't been quite as dark a year this year, I don't think, as it was last. Last year was pathetic, man. It was. There was a lot of people suffering from depression, and our community, our VA, did extraordinarily well through it all, and I was surprised to see how it went. Actually, I didn't know what people would do, how they would react, but it was still a lot of things went bad. But this year I think was a little bit brighter.
This year felt better.
I think it did feel better.
It's obviously people are allowed out.
Either that, or it's just we're getting used to this as this is the new norm. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
I'm getting more students because of. I mean, okay, that came out wrong, but I mean, you know what I mean.
Oh, I don't want to know what you mean.
I mean, well, because we're all staying home and everything, I'm getting more students for my job.
Well, there you go.
Unfortunately, I think one of my students died, but you know.
You know, I was about to say, I don't think we've. Luckily, I don't think we've suffered any losses that I can think of.
That we know of.
That we know of from this pandemic.
I could have died. I mean, I'll say
wait a
that
minute.
I could have
But
died
with over
twice.
600 pilots, you know, you can never be.
You mean within our community? I don't know.
Yes, within our community.
I don't know the answer to that, but I know 3 people.
Fly virtual or within the pilot, within the whole.
Within Fly Virtual.
Within Fly Virtual. People have suffered with it. Yes.
Now I know that 3 people that I'm acquainted with or know died from COVID.
Yes.
So.
Same here. I know at least 2.
So one of them was a sad story because she was like 40, and it was last year, and her daughter, young teenage daughter, just had to go down and visit some friends, like down in Kentucky, and she came back with it, and she gave it to her mother, and 3.5 weeks later, her mother died. Yeah.
But
so, yeah, and you know they were anti-vaxxers.
You know,
and
that's
I hate to say I told you so, but you know what? You know,
that being the case,
like,
I don't think we're saying this to get down on anybody's beliefs or anything like that. But just I think, you know, everybody needs to just be careful and just be safe and be sensible about what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's all I'm gonna ask. I'm not gonna say, you know, do this or do that. But
I'm gonna say
in general, just be sensible.
In general, I mean, just use common sense. I mean, I don't have the booster, you know, my choice. But one of the consequences is I can't go out. You know, I don't want to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's.
Well, you see, here's the deal. I take 2 drugs that compromise my immune system. So I'm vaxxed and boosted, and I'll be getting boosted again in February.
Oh, wow.
And I have to wear a mask everywhere I go because I'm afraid, because I'm immune compromised.
I kind of felt bad because I shook your hand and everything. Like, you know, I should have just.
You shook a lot of hands and flights.
I shook a lot of hands, flights, and I didn't wear my mask all the time.
The first 2 hours I was careful, and then afterwards I just kind of threw it out the window.
I should have been careful.
You can carry disinfecting tissues with you.
Oh no, I have.
Oh, we had them. We had them all over the place. We had them in our booth. We have
boxes of them in my cupboard.
I had stuff in my backpack that I was using. I mean, I pulled out.
I brought
stuff
for the booth, and then they gave us stuff. So
I still have that
sanitizer everywhere.
I still have a whole box of stuff in the shed in the bin that I bought for the booth that we never even opened. Still in there.
Oh shit! I think I hear turbulence.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I am just so glad that Flight Sim Expo came off the way it did.
I was pretty pleased. Yeah, I think it came up. I don't know. I haven't talked to Phil and Evan privately since, but I think that the word is, and I didn't get on the community event. You know, I don't know if you got that email where they had the 19th on the 19th. They had the community town hall meeting.
I got the email, but I didn't attend.
Yeah, neither did I. So I don't know. And I think there's actually, I think they sent out a link to
approach thing. I'm struggling up here.
Approach thing to what?
Whatever the hell. My initial.
ILS 8.
Yeah, thingy. What do I need to descend to? I'm struggling up here and getting a lot of overspeed warnings, and this isn't good.
Between 2,000 and 3,000 is fine.
Now you need to get down to about 2,400.
I'm trying.
Let me pull up the approach plate and show it.
Come on, start descending.
Wait up. Can you slow it down? Maybe reduce throttle.
VNAV off. Level change mode on.
Okay, there we go. Not really what I had in mind for slowing down, but yeah, this is gonna work, I think. And my VNAV just went off, my level change mode just went on. Yeah, this is fun.
Speed brakes.
VNAV on.
Okay, I am almost in approach.
Alright, I think we're sort of okay. Rattle, 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 rattle. You can see this. Oh wait, I'm sharing my screen. You can see this.
Yeah,
well, if you're gaining too much speed, reduce your descent.
Oh no, I'm fine, but I'm rattling up here.
Oh, that's from the turbulence. You're good. Don't worry about it.
I don't like the sound of this.
You have to hold together, baby. You hear me? Hold together, baby. That's out of Star Wars.
Are you sure I'm gonna make it? This sounds bad.
Yeah. What else?
Speed brake arm.
Maybe you can just descend more.
32,400 feet. 32,400 feet. Let's call it whatever. 32,000 feet. Right now.
Okay, and you're descending, right?
I'm trying. Okay, there we go.
Let me see what I got here.
Yeah, it's just descending a bit too much, though.
I know I am. I'm out of the. I'm back in control now.
Okay.
You're descending about 5,000 feet a minute.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
I disconnected because I want to install something on my son.
So did you get the picture of the plane?
Oh, you sent me a link? I didn't.
It's not. Yeah, it's a Discord.
Oh no! Please.
Okay, there we go. I've got things out of control. No, I'm kidding.
That's what they're gonna make it look like now?
Yeah, they already have the ATRs painted that color. That was the first time I saw the 737s painted that color.
What the hell?
It looks like a little cheapy little something.
Descent checklist. Pressurization.
Yeah.
That was a special repaint to commemorate something I could understand, but the whole fleet, man, come on.
Yeah,
Auto brakes.
whole fleet's gonna go that way.
Landing data. Checked. Altimeters.
I
checked.
Like the
Back in the day, they used to have a 767. No, it wasn't a 767. They had leased a 737-800 from another airline.
Checklist complete.
Painted it completely white and just had Caribbean Airways painted on the side. All the flight attendants used to call that. You know what all the flight attendants used to call that plane? Casper.
What?
Casper.
I went the opposite way. I was expecting something racist.
Because I had several friends who were flight attendants with Caribbean Airlines, and they said, I really hate flying Casper. There's nothing on that plane.
Yeah. Casper. Ugh.
Rum and Coke has been consumed.
I don't think I should. I don't know if I want to come to another party.
Okay, it sounds a lot better now where I am. Yay! I got winds 276 at 43.
You having an internal argument there, Anson? Trying to figure out.
All right,
yeah. It's not like I'm driving anywhere.
Are you holding up there, Concord?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it sounds a lot better. Well, I just said that, and yeah, I'm bumping again, but yeah, it sounds a lot better, less bumpy. Oh my God! Whoa, that was loud. I've actually got 2,300 or above, Randy, for this recluse approach. Hello?
You might have went to the restroom or something, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Well, for everyone else, I've got 2,300 or above, so yeah, I'm gonna set it to that.
Okay. How much you need one?
What's that, number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Made it sound like you were on like number 12 or something.
Oh no, I don't.
Your willpower should be called no power. I said your willpower should be called no power. Yes. You went, should I? And then 5 minutes later you're calling yourself on.
Listen, I still have the ice in it. Yep.
I begin a 9-hour flight. Let's see here.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna stay up with it for the majority of it, and then just go to bed if I get tired. I'm gonna go from Helsinki to Chicago.
Weather slowly in transition to become wind.
What's going on, Jay?
Jay or EJ?
EJ, the dude that just spoke, vatsim guy.
EJ.
What did you ask?
No. Just saying. No. Just asking you what's up. What was going on?
No, not much. Just setting up a flight, and gonna head from Finland to Chicago.
Oh, sweet. I'm just here, just playing around with my new soundbar that I got a couple months ago.
Yes, we're still alive.
Did you say soundboard?
No, soundbar.
Oh, okay. What type?
It's Vizio. It's one of their Elevate soundbars.
Okay. Vizio's the Best Buy brand, right?
They're pretty good. I heard.
Vizio is a branch of Sony.
It's a Sony brand. Okay.
Yeah. And this soundbar, originally it was $1,000, and I got it for $699. Brand new.
Wow. Why was it so on sale?
It was a flash sale that Best Buy had at one point.
Oh. Yeah, I can go for a soundbar like that.
And let me tell you, the sound on it, and it does Dolby Atmos.
Yeah, I haven't had a good soundbar in a while. I use the computer for everything because my computer has better speakers.
Let me tell you, Sarah's heard it. Sarah's actually, I have these mics.
I'm heading for my approach point now.
She's heard it through my binaural mics, and she's like, okay, that sounds nice.
Anyone who's interested, you can watch my screen and see how badly I did. No, I'm kidding.
I am watching your screen, kind of. I'm watching your screen and my screen, and I'm watching that spy, and I'm like all over the place.
Trust me, I'm not liking this.
And what's really
good.
And what's really cool is that the subwoofer is so bassy that I literally have to be careful when I turn this thing up because it'll literally rattle my mom's picture frames.
Yeah, your next waypoint is going to be the initial approach, folks.
I see it. 39 miles and 11,000 feet. I think my gut instinct is telling me I'm a little too high.
Maybe a little bit. I think you're doing okay. I wouldn't get too worried. But let me see where your path is. Yeah, you're a little above your path. I saw you pull speed brake, so let's see what we.
Yeah, like I said, instinct is telling me this. I've already done what, 3 of these?
Passing 10,000 feet.
And it even has Bluetooth support.
Yeah, you need to be down to 2,300 feet for your next waypoint.
I see that on the flex page.
You don't actually see it, right?
Well, I mean, not literally, no, but I see it on my legs page.
Okay. I don't know how you know that.
Wait, you can see legs, sweetie? Where?
I'd like to see some legs. Well, anyway.
American traffic, American 1040, inbound ILS runway 08.
Oh, I didn't know that Spotify created. Apparently, Spotify now, not Spotify, Apple Music creates a station.
Checked.
With your username.
I don't have that. I have YouTube Music, but yeah, most of them, once they start to realize what you like, it'll be like your personal station music that you like.
I'm old school. Let's start Pandora.
Some of them are terribly inaccurate.
Yeah, they are.
I like to mess with those things, like just listen to really random music, like some ZZ Top, and then follow it with some Enya.
No.
And let's see where that thing goes next.
Yeah. Or if you've ever shared your account with somebody, then you end up with like your friend liking K-pop, and you're over there listening to Eminem, and it's all confused.
Oh no, I have Apple. I mean, my family, they use Apple Music, and I love Apple Music now because they have the lossless and the spatial audio. And since I have AirPod Pros, oh man, I can't wait for Sarah to experience that.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff with that.
I've experienced spatial audio, I mean, sort of, but I mean, it was really cool.
Oh wait, did you get to hear a movie in spatial audio or something?
It was with WhatsApp, actually. It was weird.
Oh, weird? I never knew that WhatsApp did spatial audio. What the hell?
I remember I used to go into to this, I think it was Best Buy or one of those electronic stores when the Bose Wave radio first came out, and they had the 5.1 system, and the soundtrack that they would use to test it was the scene from Jurassic Park when the first time when you see the Tyrannosaurus Rex when it first.
Yeah, I know what scene you're talking about. Yeah.
I used to love to go in and just tell them, yeah, put the test tape in. Just to put that in.
I don't think I've heard it. I don't think
what? And they would crank that up to full.
Yeah, I would say you've heard it, but you just don't know it by that name.
But you mean that? But you mean
you haven't heard it with that system? Oh man, that was at the time.
Okay, Sarah, do you have everything set up for your ILS?
I think so.
When you do you tune your nav radios for the ILS
first
frequency?
officer does it. I know. Yeah,
Okay.
first officer does it. So.
All right. Okay. Good.
It looks fine. In fact, I did hear that
Oh, that was terrible on my part.
I sort of have it, kind of, but not really.
Overrun the runway. First time in the history.
Speed brake arm.
By the way, I do have my girlfriend in my earbrush.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
25.
Hopefully your landing will be better.
Uh-oh.
So you're doing pretty good so
What?
far.
No, it should be fine.
Oh, sweetie, did you tow?
No, you're still doing good.
Yep. You can do it.
You're going to have to make a pretty acute turn when you turn onto the ILS. So you're going to want to have at least 10 degrees, probably well more than that actually, before you get to that initial approach fix.
Flaps 1.
The flaps are going to help you make that turn.
Flaps 2. Flaps 5. Flaps 10.
And your altitude is, can't read it.
Glide slope alive. Landing gear down. Gear down.
You need to drop your altitude more for 7,800.
Huh?
What's your altitude right now, Sarah?
2390?
2390. Okay, you should be good. I just want to be at 2200 at the waypoint. You should be fine. Okay.
8 nautical miles away from my initial, whatever that thing is.
Initial approach fix.
Initial approach fix, yeah.
There you go. You got your flaps down, that's good. And your speed is at about
170. 170.
Okay, yeah, you should be okay with that. You won't rush through the turn. Actually, you could probably go down one more click of flaps too. Just go down one more click.
Flaps 15.
And then, yeah, arm your spoilers.
Speed brake arm.
You got your auto brakes already set to max. Good girl. Did you set your reference speed for your landing? Right?
Well, sort of. I mean, I normally do that. I normally do that
Looks
when
like somebody did it because I can see it down there. So.
But it won't slow me down because I don't have first officer and that I'm doing it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, slow down to 160 for the turn. Yeah, it's good right here. Beautiful. Okay, go ahead and You need to arm your approach.
Approach, hold on.
Good. Perfect. You are set to make the turn.
Alright, I'll go hang up with my girl.
Alright, have a good night. It's fun.
Have a good night.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
have a good landing, sir.
Yeah, I think
Thanks.
it's going to be fine.
If you need to go around, go around.
I think I should be alright.
Yeah, I think you're
Alright, was pretty fun. I'll catch you later.
Alright, see you later.
Alright, see you later. Happy New Year.
See you next year. Well, no, I say this later this year, I should say. Bye.
Not liking what I'm hearing. In my
No,
ear.
you're doing fine. You're doing
no,
fine.
El Neva. I've got the load.
Yep, you got your localizer. And it's making the turn right now. You're doing good. Now, right as you roll out of the turn, you're going to cut your speed back and put some more flaps in.
I'm getting reset MCT altitude in my ear.
Don't worry about it. Skip that. You're good.
Okay. Oh, yep, I can hear him making the turn.
Yep, you're definitely doing that. You're almost lining up with, you're going to probably overturn and then correct back, okay? Go ahead and slow down to 150.
Whoops.
Drop one more flaps.
Approach hold off. VNAV off. Flaps 25. Command B on. Landing checklist. Engine start switches. Continuous. Landing gear. Down. Flaps.
Correct back.
Set. Checklist complete.
You just caught the glide
Flaps
slope,
30.
so you're good there. So you overshot the localizer, but it's correcting back on right now, and it's going to look really good. It's looking sweet. You're looking sweet.
Flaps
okay,
40.
Flaps full. But you already had them. And then take your speed right down to just above your reference speed. I don't know what your reference speed is.
I actually don't remember what it is.
Go down, I can see the indicator, go down another to about 141 or 142. 142, we'll put you pretty good, just a little bit over the reference speed. Okay, and I can't see if you have, yep, it looks like you have flare arms, so your co-pilot did that. And just let her ride. The wind's pushing you around a little bit right now.
I hear it.
Might be a little bit bumpy.
I hear it.
It's the point right now the plane is doing its job. This is the same kind of thing I was seeing in my approach, so I didn't kick my autopilot off, so, and I don't think nobody else got theirs off either, so it's not that bad. And you're covering ground just about as fast as I did.
Oh God.
Nope, you're doing
Bump,
good.
bump.
It's lined up perfect. She's a Boeing. She'll hold together. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Minimums.
Looking good.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
There you go, you're down. Okay, speed brakes.
Reverse thrust.
Thrust reverser should be on.
100 knots. 80 knots.
Down to 40 knots. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, thrust reversers to the
Reverse
back
idle.
with your engines.
Manual braking.
Perfect. You got at least 2,000 feet remaining, so you did really good.
That was intense.
You want vectors to the gate?
I don't think I can do that. We could try.
Okay, can you get the airplane to move a little bit? Kick the brakes off and get it to move a little bit?
I will as soon as the flaps come in.
Yeah, push the throttles up just a little bit. Put your speed brakes off.
Oh.
Okay, that's good. On the throttles, back to idle. Turn left just a little bit. You can use your rudder control. You have to keep turning, turn more, turn more, turn more. Okay, slow down a little bit. Throttles to idle if you're not already there. Okay, just keep going there. You're doing good. You're almost at the intersection. Too much brakes. You can stop.
Hang on, Tom.
Okay, there you go. Alright, throttles to idle and just let it roll. And then you're going to start turning left here in a second. Okay, turn left, turn left. Turn left hard. There. You might do a little side work, okay, and then you're going to keep turning left,
Watch the ground speed.
Turning. Almost to the terminal, then across some ground. There I am sitting over there. Okay, straighten out, and then slow down with the brakes, and then turn right, and then let it roll. Keep turning right, turn right, hard right. Go right into my line. No, you're going to go right on the line. Keep turning right. Go right into my line.
Oh, sorry.
Almost perfect. All right, you can press the brakes. Set the parking brake, shut your engines off, and you're done. Good
that
girl.
Was interesting.
Yeah. Got you to the terminal, kind of.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I've never actually used my rudder before. That was interesting.
Yeah, there you go. That was a new experience for us, too.
Yeah,
so
that was.
Never give anybody vectors for a taxi.
That was actually pretty interesting. Wow.
Really neat.
Okay, don't forget to file your power up. And I guess I can log off the network now.
Your mom wished me a happy new year.
Whoops. I'm writing in all caps.
Okay. I think it goes without saying a vodka martini is stronger than a gin martini.
Anthony, you starting to feel it?
Oh, yeah.
Let me guess, sweetie, you're gonna do one more, right?
No, I am not. That's it. That's it for tonight. I can't believe well, sort of, taxied to the gate, kind of.
Now,
that was actually pretty cool.
You know what would have been really cool? I wonder what would have happened if you would have asked the controller to literally guide you to the friggin' gate.
I was going to at one point.
That would have been really interesting for a controller to see a completely blind person following the direction taxiing to a gate.
Or trying to, anyway.
Actually, they do progressive taxing. That's a real thing. They'll guide you on major airports. They'll tell you, follow you with ground control, with ground radar control, and they tell you which taxiways to turn on, and you know which directions to turn when you get there. So that is actually a real thing. It's just a little bit easier because the pilot can actually see where he has to go into and come out of the turn.
I've heard it like on live ATC.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never actually used my rudder before. That was like the first time.
Well, there you go. Now you can do it. And so...
Not really, but I can do it with your help.
So, well, what you could do is, on your landing rollout, if we're helping you and guiding you through and able to watch your screen, we can tell you when to exit the runway, which way to turn. So instead of coming to a complete stop, we can get you slowed down to a nice roll and then turn you off the runway at one of the exits, and then you can call off the runway.
Yeah.
We could try that a couple times at where there's no controllers and see how it goes. So we'll put that in our training plan for the future.
Sure,
where we can work you through that. Because that'd be pretty cool to actually get you off the runway.
Me and well, actually there's me and someone else on my pilot's Discord, my personal, well not my personal, but my blind pilot's Discord that I have, and we're discussing this, actually, what we're trying. And, you know, he wants to find a way for us to taxi, just like what you kind of sort of did, like that, you know.
I was trying to think, I was thinking at one time that somebody was working on add-on software